Damn, Lurrus, what time is it? Is it high noon? Those are some nice boots you got there. Welcome back, vintage gamers, to a Saturday vintage challenge where we are trying to win the game. This time, we are trying to win the game with new magic cards in a very good deck. No questionable brews in this one today. We are playing Lurrus Saga, the best deck in the format. All versions of Lurrus Saga, and so what I mean by all versions of Lurrus Saga are all controlling Lurrus decks that play Saga and Wasteland, whether that be blue-black, blue-white, blue-white-black, blue-black splash green, blue-white splash green. All of these decks together average somewhere between 54 and 55% win rate across their existence. This is true for challenges. There's also data from leagues that I won't talk about, but similar is what I'll say. This is the best deck in the format. It's the most played deck. It's the highest win rate deck. Not the highest win rate deck, but it's the highest win rate deck among the decks that have a high play percentage. It is really good at doing a lot of things. It's good at answering opponent Saga because it has Wasteland and Dress Down. It's good at answering, Bazaar decks because it has Wasteland and Saga. It's good at answering Shops decks because you're playing blue. And it's good at, sneaking away combo kill because you're playing Time Vault and Key. It's just a very well-rounded machine. It's very, in my opinion, Delver-esque. It's not exactly Delver because it's not really playing play a creature and try to tempo to victory. But how Delver can be the control deck in a lot of matchups in Legacy. This is always the control deck, and it kind of plays to that similar I stop your opponent from doing their broken thing, and then I kill you with a thing as well. And sometimes when I can't stop my opponent, I can still win because I happen to have Vault Key. I guess in that sense, it's more like the classic Splinter Twin deck. I guess that's probably a closer analogy. Where Splinter Twin would very, very often play, tempo game, but then sometimes you just end up with a combo kill. Okay, I like that. That seems reasonable. So what I have done is I've taken Not Me's and Frowning Table's Esper Lurrus deck, which I personally believe is the best version of the Lurrus deck. It's the one that plays 4 Bowmaster, no Lavinia. This deck cannot cast Lavinia. You just can't cast Lavinia. Please don't play Lavinia in this deck. So I took the Esper version, and then I wanted to try out some new cards. So I'm playing the Esper version, but then I cut 4 Bowmasters and 1 Underground Sea, and instead I'm playing 1 Volcanic, 1 Underworld Breach combo with Brain Freeze and Underworld Breach. I am playing a Lava Spur Boots, new Magic the Gathering card here, where you can get this off of Saga and make your Sagas have, make your constructs have haste. I think this actually seems like it's going to be a big player in Legacy, where the attacking really matters. I'm not 100% sure this is going to matter a ton in Vintage, but I really wanted to try it. I haven't seen anyone try it yet, so basically you get this off Saga and you change your clock a little bit by getting your newest Saga token to have haste. We're trying out High Noon. This is another card from the new set. This is a card that I was super high about in my preview video, but I didn't realize how little red cards mattered in Vintage right now. Red cards just don't have the power level at the moment, so it's kind of hard to build a deck that has red in it. Though we're just going to do a light red splash. We're just going to do 1 Volk, 1 Ruby, 1 Lotus off of Saga, and we have this High Noon. So this is a Rule of Law effect, 1 spell per turn. Pretty reasonable because your deck at some point when you have a Lurrus is really just playing 1 spell per turn. You're not really doing multiple spells per turn. That's not exactly how this deck functions. So having this main deckable Deafening Silence, Rule of Law against these Jewel combo decks is really, really nice. And then it has a really powerful ability where you can sack it for 5 mana and hit 5 damage to any target. So you can kill a creature, you can go to face, and when you can sacrifice this card, you can bring it back with Lurrus. So I have really high hopes for this card inside of Lurrus Shells. We'll see if that actually pans out. And then, of course, I had to fill in some extra slots because we took out 4 Bowmasters and replaced 1, 2, 3, 4. There was a 5th card we took out, and I don't remember what it was. But I'm going to play a Valky, God of Lies. This is a card that you frequently see in Brian Kelly Lurrus decks. And some people might ask, like, don't we want to like cheat this in with the new Jace? And I think the answer to that is no. The front side of this creature is fine. It's a little 2/1 that looks at their hand, gets rid of a creature card for a while. But the backside of this is like, obviously it's a 7-mana planeswalker, but you can make 7 mana in these control decks fairly often because your Saga can complete into a Black Lotus. And so like if you already have, you know, your Saga tap for mana, your Black Lotus, like your Saga is going to be 4 mana. So if you already have like 3 other lands or Moxen in play, it's not unreasonable and happens fairly frequently that you can just cast the 7 mana planeswalker. So yeah, the rest of this deck, very standard, straightforward, best deck in the format, Esper Lurrus, but we're just going to make the mana base a little bit worse. Though, to be fair, if you play 1 Volcanic Island, you also have 4 Lorians and 3 fetch lands that all get it. So it's actually like not that hard to get the Volcanic Island. The thing you need to be worried about is like wastelanding the 1 Volcanic Island and then drawing the Breach or something like that. So I'll see you in the round 1 of this Vintage Challenge. Have you ever wanted to win your own real Black Lotus? The legendary NYSE Vintage Tournament returns this June 22nd on Long Island in New York. 15 proxy, high stakes, paper vintage action with 8 whole pieces of unlimited power as prizes. You are not going to want to miss it. Check out more information in the description below. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. Okay, let's go. Round 1. Versus P9, who just top 8'd yesterday on Jewel. I have a cat. I've got classic Urza Saga Gaming hand. This should be... Is this playable versus Jewel? Kind of feel like it isn't, right? A Seal doesn't actually beat a One Ring or a Jewel. So I have to put this hand back. That's kind of sad. I guess I'm mulliganing. I'm assuming P9 is on combo, but most recently just won on Jewel. Ooh, Brain Freeze is nice against Jewel, and so is Force. I'll keep this one. I can bottom Flusterstorm, maybe. And then, or maybe I just keep Flusterstorm. But I kind of want Demonic for an Ancestral on turn 1. Like, I can't Probe here. Probe is going to be pitched to Force. It's just like, do I think Brain Freeze is better than Flusterstorm against Jewel? I kind of feel like it is, right? I guess if they just simply deploy the One Ring a lot of the time, it doesn't matter, but... Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know what to put back here. I'm pretty sure I want to cast Demonic for Ancestral on turn 1, though. I mean, it's Brain Freeze or Flusterstorm. I feel like most of the time Brain Freeze is better unless, like, they have the Force hand, right? But I'm going to tap out for Demonic. So... feel like it's just keep Fluster. I keep Brain Freeze, I think. If I wasn't tapping out for Demonic, maybe Fluster is better. But I mean, I'm still holding up Brain Freeze too, right? If I wasn't tapping out. I mean, next turn I can hold up Ancestral or Freeze, right? I don't know, like, how good is, like... Is the Brain Freeze still going to be good if my opponent is cognizant of the fact that it could happen? Or, I mean, it probably is. It's just something that's kind of hard to play around besides, like, weaving in a One Ring. Pretty sure the only thing worth tutoring for is Ancestral. I mean, you could technically go Underworld Breach, but it's not really. We'll just go Ancestral here. We're also, of course, assuming they're on the Jewel Stops, but they did top 8 literally yesterday. This is the Friday challenge. Yesterday was the Thursday challenge. Well, that doesn't tell me anything. If I draw a blue card, I can probe. Should I play as if they're not Jewel because they kept 7 cards Saga top? Cast Ancestral on my turn here. It's a little greedy if my opponent changed their deck, but... Alright, I'm going to play Volcanic and wait on the Saga here so that I can hold up Brain Freeze, Spell Pierce, Force of Will. I don't think I need to probe them. I guess I could have probed them because I did draw a different blue card. I'm not sure like how much I need this. Probably not much. They have probe. Do I care? I lose my brain freeze ability. All it costs me is one spell pierce. But if they have a force one ring, it's like really bad for me, right? Maybe I should have just probed. Maybe not probing was really bad here. Because then I could know what I wanted to do. I mean, they probably just have to jam into it no matter what. Like, you don't actually have leeway to play around that kind of thing. Oh, they're just going to go Saga Gaming instead. I guess that's fine. It's definitely the least powerful thing that Jewel can do. I don't need to cycle this because I have a Saga coming. Oh. Yeah, that's a good draw. All right, let's probe my opponent so I have a better idea of what's going on here. Should have done that last turn, obviously. Workshop, Time Vault, second Saga, Ancestral that you can't cast. I see. Okay. So they get one construct. We would have had to counter Time Vault. Not a great hand, honestly. Is this a keep? Is this really a 7-card Jewel keep? It doesn't really feel like it is. I mean, it's your list, except without Bowmasters. I took your list, and I cut the Bowmasters, and I'm playing subjectively maybe worse cards. All right, well, I'm in no worry of losing to combo here, so I can just buy Lurrus. I guess I still have to counter Time Vault because I don't technically have another answer for Saga. I guess that's kind of silly. Though I guess I can spell pierce it unless they play Workshop, right? I guess if they lead, yeah, I can just always spell pierce it too. Yeah, that's just really good for me. I don't have anything. They drew they drew at Opal, which cast Ancestral Recall. Very nice. I think I'm just gonna force Ancestral, pitching Brain Freeze, and then untapping cast Lorian. Three cards. I feel like I should hit, right? Feel like I should hit, right? Why didn't I force the Opal? I think forcing the Opal is worse. I don't think they have a choice to play. I think they have to play into their Spell Pierce pretty much. I guess theoretically they could have gone Opal first and then Ancestral to round Spell Pierce, but like they're just like getting rid of my counter spells so they can top deck a ring or a jewel and kill me, right? I'm gonna cast this Lorien Revealed and try to hit a blue card because I want to draw 3 cards here. I've used a lot of blue cards this game though. All right, I hit a blue card. I also hit another mana that casts Lurrus. I also hit a Swords to stem the bleeding. Not that I kind of need to do that. Well, they know the Ancestral is not resolving either. Why do you think the Ancestral is suddenly resolving? They know about both Force and Spell Pierce. I think it's correct. They just get rid of all my counter spells, and then they have a top, and they try to win the game. Seems fine to me. They have triple workshop, so they can win off Jewel or Ring. They literally, like, I see what you're saying, but I think it's bad. I think they need to, like, be pressuring this game. The longer this game goes on, the worse it is. That's another strip mine draw. I just keep drawing this the turn before these sagas go off. My constructs are what, 4/4s? This looks winning to me. Just hold up negation. Strip the... I have nothing to get back with my Lurrus, right? So, like, there's really no reason to play the Lurrus. I'll just swords one of the constructs and block. And then I'm winning with constructs. Yeah, I just think it's bad to play the Lurrus. Agreed. Also, like, it's really hard to try to, like, have a saga actually complete in Vintage. It's not exactly an easy or good plan. Spinning with the blue mana. I know their hand is 2 workshops, 2 unknowns. Oh, I wonder if I'm supposed to hard cast negation here. Well, now I'm definitely not, because they're going to have... I guess I just wipe this board here with a block and a swords. Oh, I don't know why I did it in that order, but... I don't think I have to trade here, but it just feels like a very easy way to complete this game. Next, I get a Lotus, and I go Lotus, Lurrus, Lorien, maybe? I mean, I don't have to play this Lurrus. I can't counter a Metamorph. Oh, they found a card here. They found a Jewel. I mean, I think I'm pretty priced into Lurrus, probably. I don't have, like, a Needle in my deck in the main, I don't believe. I drew my Lava Spur boots. I mean, I guess I'm getting a bauble, right? Lurrus double bauble. Hope my opponent doesn't draw another jewel or ring. Feel like that's the only line. I know they have a top on top. What do I have on top? A Saga. It's not exactly a very good card here. I think I'm going to lose this game. Their top just needs to find them something good and they win. Well, top just needs to find them a win. Pretty unfortunate. Kind of ran out of permission. I only had 2 forces this game. They could always not. They could always miss. Okay, they missed. That's pretty lucky, I think. High Noon. Wait, isn't that sick here? Isn't that so good here? Isn't that crazy good here? That's so good here. Am I supposed to play High Noon without playing a bauble from my yard in case their last card is Force of Will and they spin into a blue card? Or am I supposed to just play the bauble for the damage? Off of my Pearl. God bless. How much? 3, 4. So I just told you, Jess. I literally just said it out loud. If my opponent's last cards are blue card force, then I can oh, I can't replay High Noon because I only have one white source. So never mind. Never mind. I don't have more than one white source, so this line doesn't work. But the reason is if my opponent had Force of Will blue card, they counter High Noon, and then I replay High Noon with my Lurrus. Yes, they could force the High Noon from my hand, but not the High Noon from my yard. Of course, this line does not work because I do not have double white. But I hope you understand what I'm saying now, after I've said it the third time. Oh, wait, did I miss lethal? Is High Noon just 7 mana, 5 damage? No. This is also 5 damage. What the hell? This means they can't jewel combo me, though. So this is pretty great. It also means it kills them on their upkeep if they one ring, which is also great. This card is great. Why are people not? This card's awesome. This card's so good right here. This is the exact use case. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, well, I have a Stony Silence, thanks to Not Me's deck building here. I have a Mindbreak Trap. I have a Hercules Recall. I have a Needle. And I have a Steel Sabotage. Not bad. Not bad. That's a good-looking sideboard. What cards are bad? What does this take? Creatures? So it can only take Metamorph. Probably not very good here. Yeah, the Spurs didn't actually end up mattering in that game, unfortunately, because we didn't have the mana to equip on the first turn and play Lurrus, but... Silence and Archon, do they both exist as an enchantment that Lurrus can get, that can sacrifice itself and deal 5 damage, or... Bro, can you just wait for the deck tech? Like, I can't do it right now, man. What do you take out? Flusterstorm, Misstep? I guess the boots are like a tempo thing here, so not that bad. Seems fine. You leave in... I mean, do we need to leave in swords for, like, Wormcoil, Not Me, when we have Dress Downs and Hercules and Sabotage? I kind of feel like that's not necessary. Or you just, like, want it for constructs? Or, like, what is your reasoning? Like, I don't think it's unreasonable to have Ace Swords, but I just don't know if it's, like, really worthwhile, though. I don't think Swords is better than Boots. No, I don't. No, I think Hercules is like 100 million times better than Flusterstorm. I don't think it's remotely close. I think Flusterstorm is so bad against Jewel, and Hercules actually has reasonable applications. Yeah, I mean, we already have Hercules and Double Dress Down and Seal of Cleansing and Sabotage. I don't think I'm worried about Wormcoil Engines. It's like more, do you want to keep a Swords for like extra construct answers? But I feel like this is already enough construct answers. Yeah, Snap gets a lot worse when you take out all the one-drop spells. Is it bad here? I mean, Snap is also like Steal a Jewel, Flashback a Sabotage, or Hercules. Like, I don't feel like Snap is terrible. And Snap is better if you have a Swords. Yeah, I don't really know. This is fine for me. I like this. I'm not trying to play a Jace. I'm just playing a Valky. It's a good red card to splash. The Brian Kelly School of Magic the Gathering. All right, I have a force in this hand, so I'm gonna keep it. Another 7-card keep from the P9 here. Has the defense grid. I bet they don't do the worm coil thing though. I bet they just bring in defense grid for decks that are forcing them. I mean, I have to force it. I don't think the Valkyrie's that good. It's just a fun card. Like, I don't think anyone else, unless they paid Nathan, plays the defense grid worm coil plan the same way. I don't think people do that. I think they just bring in defense grid when they see counter spells. I do another force. It's pretty good here. All right, Bauble. Look at my top card because I have a fetch land. It's a strip mine. I want that card. I think I'm just gonna cash in both Baubles, even though I could get like more value later. Let's check out their top card for informational purposes. Black Lotus. It's a good one. I think I have to keep the strip mine because of Saga. I don't really have Saga answers in my hand at the moment, but I do have counter spells and brain freezes for combo. I guess I theoretically could have used the Bauble on their turn and looked at my top card again, but I think it's better to just like have more options and have more cards in their on their upkeep. I don't think I would ever spell pierce Lotus here. Doesn't seem like something I would do. Ooh, I will spell pierce that though. No respect. Which card is the best color of mana? White, Tundra, Stony Silence, High Noon, Seal of Cleansing, Demonic, Vampiric. It's Tundra. That is a crazy draw. Man, is this what it's like to play the good cards? Tinker pitching, or force pitching Tinker. They have a Lotus as their last card. I force this pitching Lorien revealed. Probably. Or do I want... Because I'm not strip mining them, so I have a land. Kind of want another land. Get a Underground Sea. Am I just pitching this for infreeze again? Because I want to get a Lurrus as soon as possible so that I can start Bauble looping before they draw out of this game because they have nothing in hand. I'm going to pitch the Brain Freeze. I see. Oh, that changes things. It worked out pretty well. All right, so they have a Lotus and no other cards here. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to cash in this Lorien revealed and get a thing so I can automatically get a Lurrus this turn. I hope to draw a blue card, obviously. Did draw a blue card. I feel like we've drawn extremely well in these games. All right, so next turn I have Lurrus plus Bauble Loop. I have an active Force of Will. They're on top deck mode. Should be game. Can't lose to Saga because I have a strip mine. Yeah, this is game. I don't know. If you just have good cards, it's pretty hard to lose to Jewel. Obviously, they can like high roll and kill you, and my opponent's draws were neither of my opponent's 7-card keeps were what I would consider high rolls. Yeah, they're dead. Well, there's no real point in wastelanding them, so I'm just gonna hold all my mana here. I just think putting any amount of good cards in your deck just beats Jewel most of the time. That's just how I feel. I have no respect for the Jewel deck. Like, I get it. It has a high win rate. But I think that deck is just not good. This is a point where you would not play High Noon because we are going to be casting multiple spells probably. Cruise. I can eat one Bauble and then tap a Wasteland. Lurrus Saga. I mean, I know their top card, so I don't even need to like needle anything. I feel like I don't need to do anything. Next turn, I could actually hit both their blue sources if I really wanted to, but I just get to look at their top card every turn, so I know what I need to do. It's very, very, very broken. No, I don't think there's any reason to cast High Noon here. That would be pretty silly. I'm the one who's more likely to play 2 spells in a turn. They can't win the game. Like every turn I look at their top card, I know exactly what it is. I draw an extra card every turn. I have ways to beat any creature, any land, anything. Yeah, my opponent could have played differently, for sure. But my opponent is also like one of the more powerful wizards in the format, so. But yeah. All right. It's High Noon, baby. All right, on to round 2. How many players were in this event, actually? 55. Good number. All right. Lurrus. Cat battle. Seems fine here. Lots of fast mana. All right, F6. So let's go take a look at my opponent's last list here. I assume blue-black. Yeah, just straight up blue-black. 5 wastelands, Bowmaster Twister, pierces and baubles. Nothing crazy here. On color Pearl, not bad. On color for Lurrus, I should say. Time Walk, it's a good one. I guess we should just be happy that. Oh. All right. Well, I think their restricted cards are better than our restricted cards, chat. Time Walk, Lotus, Lurrus, Saga. Yeah. We are heavily outdrawn in this one. I guess the only way this gets worse is if they have a bobble. All right, just Lotus. A bobble would definitely be worse for us here. And a Sapphire. 2 cards in hand. Let's see. Ah, I do Force for turn. Damn you, Time Walk. All right, what's my top card here? A negation. I don't think we want a negation. I also don't want to fetch into a wasteland, though. It's kind of unfortunate. Feel like I have to. Unless their like last card is Lorien, right? But I understand what you're saying. Oh, I guess I should probably sequence this in a way that doesn't get my Soul Ring spell pierced. Probably doesn't matter though. I mean, I'm gonna buy Lurrus, but I can't even cast Lurrus. I mean, I have to crack away the negation and just hope I don't get wrecked here, right? I don't know. I mean, we're just so far behind. How do we win this game, really? Probably still Tundra. I guess I could top deck Breach and try to combo my way out. Ah, yeah, they had the Wasteland too. Wasteland is so good right now, man. It's so good. I don't think I'm searching for like a different land. I don't think I'm gonna be able to play Lurrus anyways on the next turn. I don't know. Maybe I should have searched for a black. I mean, black mana. What does that mean? Demonic Tutor? Oh, they're just using it to make constructs and holding up Hardcast Force. I see. A Volky God of Lies. Not a great one here. For what it's worth, if it was a Bowmaster, it would also not be that great here. It would be better, though. How do I win this game? How far am I away from casting this, actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm 2 away from casting this. I just feel like I was savagely outdrawn in this one, unfortunately. I mean, my hand was a keep in the mirror, right? Like, my hand was fast mana, bobble, like... I feel like my hand was a keep in the mirror. It's just, they had, like, a really good Lotus Time Walk hand, right? I should have won the die roll. Thanks, not me. You're always here for me. One, two. If I counter this, I'm dead on board, right? I guess I should have played a Valky to block. All right. Well, I lost. I lost the game. I could have played this better, but I didn't really put that much into it. Oh, I didn't die? Based. I think the way I win this game is I top deck Underworld Breach and I go Breach Brain Free. Wait, they just... Oh, I could have countered this. This was not hasting. I thought it had spurs on it for some reason. Okay, so the way I win this game is I top deck Breach, right? So I'm just going to hold the Lorien revealed in my hand as a force pitch. All right, step one. I do need to hit the Black Lotus off of my Brain Freeze, but... I mean, I'm not there yet, chat. I'm step one. I'm step one. I kind of wanted my opponent to counter it so I could have forced back and gotten more things here. Black Lotus. That's a strip mine, wasteland, and force of negation. Black Lotus. All right, did not hit a Black Lotus. Can I cycle Lorien and go again? I don't have enough mana, right? I also didn't hit any Moxen, so things are bad. I can brainstorm though. I can still hit a Black Lotus off the brainstorm. My opponent's gonna counter this after like not countering Breach because they're savage. Oh, Bowmaster? That's fine. Two Bowmasters is also fine, I think. No, it's not fine. Two Bowmasters is lethal. Okay. All right, did not get there anyways, so we almost squeaked out of that game, honestly. We were very, very close to squeaking out of that game. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I kind of thought that they like still had a force, to be honest, and I wanted to keep force blue card. But I could definitely have gone 3 deeper if I had gone cycle bobble beforehand. Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt like they let the breach resolve because they didn't care. I don't know why. That was just my gut instinct. We don't know if I would have won if I had gone 3 deeper, but that might have been better. Could have been better for sure. Did I have enough cards in my yard to do that? Actually, I think, yeah, I might have had enough. Blue, black, Lurrus. I mean, I think we want a needle just because it's a saga mirror. And then what else? Do you bring in any cards for this matchup, or you're already kind of pre-boarded, right? I feel like you're pretty much pre-boarded already. I had bobble +2, so it was 1 extra brain freeze. Yeah, I mean, it's probably correct. I mean, we have dress down for constructs. I don't bring in Hercules Recall in this matchup. If they were playing PO, you can get a little more value. Oh, I think negation is garbage too. Like, obviously you can hit Twister and Time Vault, but I think that's like not worth it. Maybe we just play some swords then. I mean, it's definitely Needle. Needle's the only thing that I think I actually 100% need. I don't like negation in the matchup at all. Is High Noon good? Probably not in this matchup, no. Probably worse than the swords. Considering I'd play High Noon in their deck if they had it. So, like, it does kill Lurrus, but I don't think that's really the... Like, using this as a removal spell, I don't think is, like, the normal use case. Like, it can happen, and it can be good, but I think it's, like, not the reason you're playing the card. We're pretty pre-boarded for the matchup, so... Yeah, but, like, High Noon is symmetrical, right? Like, it's... High Noon is symmetrical, so... This is an interesting question of, am I supposed to Saga on turn 1 here? They should be on 1 dress down, so... Yeah, but, like, what are you spell piercing? Like, there's very few things you're actually spell piercing on this turn. Time walk again? No, not this time. Sure. That's your bobble, friend. I guess they can force this emerald now. So maybe I should have just let emerald on turn 1. I mean, I don't really care, right? I just don't really care. I guess I get an upkeep activation if I counter this. I mean, this is probably my fault. I did specifically hold Emerald for a reason, and the reason was to give them less information about how my saga was going to be used. But that doesn't really seem like a good reason then if I'm going to end up... I mean, my opponent did just cash in a brainstorm and a negation on my Emerald. So, like, am I really losing out here? I don't think so. Like, it's a tempo play, but is it even good for them? Though they're just going to play a Lurrus and kill me here, aren't they? Because they have an active bobble. What do I do? I need to get a removal spell. Or force, but I don't have a black mana. Yeah, but Saga's not a black mana in time. Like, I'm making a construct here, right? It's the whole point of our play. I mean, I could needle bobble. I mean, then they still have Bowmaster loops, so it's not really great. I wish I had brought a Soul Guide Lantern in. Do we have a Soul Guide Lantern? We don't have a Soul Guide Lantern. A Soul Guide Lantern would be pretty sweet here, because I could just play the Soul Guide and hit the bobble. What if they like wasteland my Tundra? I just kind of hate Needle on Bobble, but it might be right. I mean, I could just go for Volt Key. I have a Flusterstorm. I just can play an Underground Sea and Vamp and go for it. But they have so many mana, right? But they're going to be tapped out if they go for... They're going to be pretty tapped pretty low. It feels like I'm going all in if I go for Volt Key, though. And I could have a second Saga, so I don't have to go for Volt Key right now. All right, I'm going to Needle... But I need to play the Saga this turn. That's probably fine, though. I think I am going to go for Volkey, but I am not going to go for Volkey right now. It just doesn't line up right. I'm going to just do this. Three cards in hand. They can't replay a Bowmaster this turn. Unless they have another black source. Am I supposed to Lorien Revealed? Probably, because I'm not going to have an opportunity to do this later. Just get multiple Underground Seas. Dress down. Well, that's kind of shit here. I mean, they're at 2 cards in hand. We have Fluster for Lorien if they don't have a land. They'll get in for 1 here. Oh, they're not even going to go for it? Interesting. I mean, I'm going to go for it. Seems fine. I mean, I want key on this board anyways, right? So... Is it negation or is it force of will? Force of will I have beat. Negation I could beat if I if I were to dress down first. Yeah, I lose my constructs. I think it's bad. I think it's bad. I think I would rather buy Lurrus than... Why does losing constructs matter? Like, there's lots of ways my opponent can stop my... Like, I don't win the game on the spot. I don't have a land. I don't have a mana. So, like, I'm passing the turn to them. I just can think of, like, lots of ways it goes bad in a game that I think I'm currently winning. I'm just going to buy Lurrus this turn over activate key. Should we have vamped in upkeep? Maybe. I did turn off my own bobble in this scenario, didn't I? Ah, the one thing I want Flusterstorm for that they didn't have. It's such a bad fucking sequence for me. That's like the one reason to not buy Lurrus there. Maybe I should just be attacking to be making them use this Bowmaster every turn. I mean, now the likelihood they have a second Lorien is like kind of high, but I still feel like I'm supposed to get this in play. So at some point I can start stress down looping my opponent. I just don't think like making a construct unblockable is a good use of my mana. Oh, I guess they can force this because I am tapped out. Okay, I should probably have waited one turn then. I mean, I'm not playing this very well. I didn't really think through a lot of these plays. Is this game 2? Yeah, but like a dress down loop will eventually win the game. Like if you're the person with the dress down loop, you're going to be in a much better spot. All right, I'm supposed to be making them make a construct every turn, right? So this is my fault. Sorry, I'm supposed to be making them Bowmaster and using their black mana. Oh, I guess I just turned on Fatal Push for them though. So I should not have done that. Good God, I'm playing like terribly today. I am not playing well. They have 4 cards in hand. Like at some point they'll also have dress down too, so. All right, I am going unblockable. Just didn't play this game very well. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, the attack was not good. The attack was not good. I'm not going to try to convince anyone that that was a good attack. Like I said, I'm not playing very well at the moment. Snapcaster Mage. That's interesting. I have a Vamp Tutor. If I could Vamp Tutor for something, what would I Vamp Tutor for? Removal for Lurrus. I can't Vamp and make unblockable, though. Pretty sure I'm supposed to continue to make unblockable. Definitely not whatever chess suggested. Like I'm a couple attacks from winning this game, so yeah, like they're supposed to attack with this Bowmaster every turn, right? Because I can't block it because of what you said, second Bowmaster. I'm never gonna cast Brainstorm, right? So isn't it better if I just fetch this now? Like obviously I exposed my Volcanic to a Wasteland, but definitely playing and holding on to this because we have. All right, well now we have Snap Vamp. Snap Vamp might just be Time Walk, honestly. At some point, they might just have Fatal Push as well, right? I don't know. They have 6 cards in hand, chat. Is it all counter spells? Like, what can it possibly be? It must be all counter spells, right? Like, just all counter spells. Okay. That game, I do not deserve to win. I think I played this game pretty close to as worst as I possibly could have. I like just gave them timing windows for absolutely everything. Manifold Key is absurd magic card. A huge mistake. I really dislike this card existing, but we take the wins. I really don't know why this needed to be printed, but Urza Saga constructs would be a lot more balanced if you had to play Voltaic Key and not Manifold Key. Like, it's like you could play Young Pyromancer and just chump these things forever. Like, it's very, very unfortunate that Manifold Key was printed. Manifold Key, if Saga ever gets restricted, Manifold Key will be a huge reason. Yeah, I mean the cost of playing a Shadow Sphere isn't like super high, but it's something. Valky for value. I had 7 mana. I could cast a Valky. I wouldn't cast a Valky because my opponent definitely had 7 counter spells in hand, but all right. On the draw, have a cat versus a cat. 12 minutes to win. Oh, I mean, this has to be a keep, right? Saga Swords, Saga Wasteland. Doesn't have any Moxen though. But can you really be mulliganing this? Oh, I hate this stupid deck. I mean, it's a bad hand, but like, yeah, but that's the whole matchup. The whole matchup, like, Lurrus doesn't, like, you just want your lands so you don't get wastelanded out of the game. You want wastelands of your own so you don't get saga'd. And like, the average draw from the opponent isn't going to do anything. Like the first game was like a way above average draw. But we're on the draw. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to keep this and hate my life. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think this hand is good, but I don't think mulliganing to 6 is good either in this deck. Like, what the hell is that? That's a good draw. J is a good draw. Orcish Bowmaster, Force, Fluster, Spreading Seas. All right, well, I guess I'm not playing my Urza Saga. I drew both on-color Moxen? What kind of genius am I? Their only land is an Underground Sea at the moment? I'm glad I didn't play an Urza Saga here. Well, I'm debating if I'm supposed to play Underground Sea or Basic Island. Because if my opponent does Wasteland my Underground Sea, isn't it like super good for me? I mean, I don't think they will, but if they do, it's like really good for me. I wonder if we're gonna end up wastelanding the sea and their sea in this game. Kind of feels like we won't, but because you have to be able to beat. Maybe they drew a second one. They could have drawn a second one. Boots. This is just gonna get forced, right? I think wasting their land is a way to lose the game. Don't really like it very much. But it does let us play Saga, theoretically. Wait, you can't play Saga here, right? Not me, they have a Spreading Seas. If they hit a land, we lose the game on the spot, right? Isn't it like super bad? They're on blanks and they wastelanded an Underground Sea. This feels like the one instance where you can probably get away with wastelanding a not Saga land. I mean, what if they just like draw land, and then spreading Caesar Saga? Isn't it super bad? I mean, I could never resolve this Lurrus, right? Because they have Force Fluster. So maybe I'm just supposed to cast Lurrus. I don't know. I think there's like a lot of pretty reasonable choices here, which is cool. I feel like there are a lot of choices that I wouldn't be like, yeah, that's a bad play. It's like there's just, well, I should have obviously ordered this in the other. I should have cast the other Moxen, obviously. They just have no other land. You can't wasteland an Underground Sea then. Isn't wastelanding an Underground Sea there crazy? Oh, this actually takes their Bowmaster, doesn't it? Isn't that kind of good? They forced my Valky. I even had the boots for it. Wild. Ah, they drew the strip mine. All right. I think that's why they wastelanded. Dress down, and I have Valky in my yard. Yeah. They drew another force. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, so their hand is Orcish Bowmaster's unknown magic card. And they drew a C. Needle. This isn't good for me, right? I got nothing left. I mean, I was always going to make the plays I made there. I mean, they have nothing left either. I have to hold this dress down probably. I was not expecting the force, but it makes sense. If you're going to force Valky, it means you have another force for Lurrus. Wasteland. They're drawing out of it, chat. If I draw a Saga, I can Needle Wasteland. I mean, I'm not supposed to Swords Bowmaster, right? I have to Swords this Lurrus when it comes down. I guess I could technically dress down here, save myself an Orc army. Maybe it's fine. I'm like a little worried. I guess I shouldn't. I'm not worried about Saga, so I guess I can do that for value. Oh. All right, well, this works out pretty well for me. Unless they have misstep. Okay. They drew On Color Pearl to buy Lurrus with here. I have an answer, and they don't have anything in their yard anyways, so it's okay. I drew a lot of mana, didn't I? Oh, I wish I had this Valky back. I could just cast it as a duder. I don't think there's any downside to playing these cards out because I'm never casting Brainstorm into this Bowmaster, right? Maybe if I draw an additional Swords, maybe. My Ancestral did not draw us cards that did anything. This is a true statement. I have Underworld Breach combo in my deck. I have Time Vault Key in my deck. I can kill my own Needle with a Seal of Cleansing. Wait, my opponent's just not casting Lurrus? I have like 10 million combos left in my deck. I just keep drawing Tundras. I have 1 Sea and 1 Volk left, so I should just fetch them out, right? So I don't get stuck with these things. They have a second Bowmaster is why they did that. Wait, I'm just going to die to like Bowmaster because I drew exactly 0 cards that do anything. That's silly. I guess the 1 damage I save is pretty good. They're still not casting Lurrus. If I lose this game, isn't it just super sad? Whoa, no, man. Come on. Isn't this just disgusting? This is the dumbest game of all time. I'm losing to just... My own deck is just drawing no cards. I have no more mana in my entire deck. My deck has 4... I mean, Lorien Revealed isn't good anymore. But my deck has, like, infinite combo kill things from here. It's crazy. I mean, I'm going to draw Lorien Revealed, right? And then I'm not going to be able to cast it because there's so many Bowmasters. And I might not even counter... I might not even Swords Lurrus anymore. Like I said, I might need to kill this to draw Lorien Revealed. All right, I think I'm supposed to fetch once here. There's still mana in my deck, chat. There's also a bunch of forces in my deck that are all bad from here. Oh. Yeah, sure. You got it. I feel like my opponent took actions at random in this game, but... All right, so I'm going to bait a counterspell on Needling Saga, and then I'm going to Swords, a Bowmaster, and cruise into Vault Key. And even if they counter this, I'm going to still cruise and just try to win the game on the spot. I just can't draw as well as my opponents, I guess. What am I supposed... Like, I resolved an Ancestral in this game, and I drew 3 mana sources, right? Like, what am I supposed to do? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's okay. We did the best we could. That's what matters. Oh, I did not exile cards with Breach in mind, by the way. I definitely clicked cards at random. I definitely should have left Swords. I think that's the only thing. I mean, I probably should have left Ancestral even if I wasn't going to cast cast it. I definitely should have left swords, and probably swords and ancestral. Yeah, I mean, I just was like, I don't have anything in my yard left. Oh, cool. I drew the underground sea, by the way. Tapping Ruby doesn't matter. I have a Black Lotus in play. What's my top card? Flusterstorm. All right. I'm going to fetch nothing and shuffle that away. All right. I don't know what I was supposed to do. Obviously, not what I did. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I obviously I did not do the treasure cruise the right way, but didn't really end up mattering. What? What? All right. I mean, I don't think I played super well, so I can't get that mad, but also, come on now. All right, we were just going over the game, and obviously most of the things that we did here were pretty good, and the draws were just not lining up. The two things that we saw were, one, we probably should have fetched before this turn here. We're at 17. I feel like we can get away with fetching an Underground Sea and a Volcanic Island, just so that we don't draw them later on. And then, obviously, I was tilted and did a very bad Treasure Cruise. So this Treasure Cruise should be exiling land is 5 lands, and then Valky and Gataxian Probe, leaving Ancestral Dress Down Swords in the yard. That way, like, for instance, if we had hit a breach off of this very last draw, we'd be able to at least Ancestral twice. So those are the two things. But, like, the way we played this game was fine. We just drew really badly. And even if I had, like, done... I mean, I did end up drawing an Underground Sea here, so maybe I could have had one more card. But there were actually a lot of dead cards in for us to draw, so it's not exactly that simple. So I think sometimes variance is variance, but you should always make the best plays as well to give yourself more outs. All right, welcome to round 3, where we will strive to be better. All right, we're playing against possibly Doomsday. We've got a cat on the die roll. We've got a Brainstorm and Brain Freeze and Ancestral Recall against Doomsday, huh? Not bad. Now the question becomes, I feel like we're still just ancestraling on our upkeep, right? On their upkeep, right? I feel like that's probably true. Or we could get, maybe we can just get away with playing Soul Ring Boots. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you die on turn 1. Don't think you're supposed to play around Doomsday killing you on turn 1 most of the time. There's like some upside in like getting a bunch of mana out early, but my gut instinct tells me just try to draw your 3 cards, see what happens. Try to get some forces in your hand. I Dress Down is technically an anti-Doomsday card, as is Wasteland, if they didn't have an island. Oh, Mental Misstep's not bad, though. All right, so I'm going to play the Tundra, and then with the Tundra, I'm going to play the Soul Ring, and then I'm not going to play the Boots, because I want to be able to hold up Brain Freeze, Dress Down. Not a bad start. Not a bad start. I don't hate this spot. Looks pretty good. Preordain. I'm not gonna mental misstep anything that's not ancestral or dark ritual typically. Especially with like the current state of being here. This one I might counter because it lets us go wasteland and like tempo here. Oh, is this dark ritual? Oh, duress. Sick. I will take 2 and I will mental misstep your duress. That worked out pretty well. Do I want to cycle my Lorien revealed? I don't. No, because I want to have a blue card for force. Ruby. So I technically could play Lurrus this turn, but I'm not going to. So I'm just going to waste this Underground Sea. And then I'm going to buy Lurrus. Yeah, but like, there are very seldom instances where you're casting Lorien revealed, right? Because like you need to hold open Brain Freeze Dress down. Some of them. I'm not even sure I'm supposed to buy Lurrus here instead of holding both up. Oh, they just have no other land? I see. Huh. I kind of want to cycle the Lorien revealed and get a land so that I can play Lurrus and stuff. Wasteland is so broken. It's so good. It's like I'm just gonna every video I'm just gonna talk about how broken Wasteland is, and until people start respecting the card. I don't need a red source because I need to take a black source. Oh. Okay. Well, my opponent is off it. I actually, yeah. I mean, sometimes you just can't. Wasteland just won the game with 1 activation. Having a Wasteland made the game a non-game. Wasteland's so broken. Okay. Mindbreak Trap is good against Doomsday, and Swords is bad against Doomsday, and Seal is bad against Doomsday. God, we have just no cards for this matchup, huh? None of our cards are good. Yeah. I mean, if I have to take one out, I'm definitely taking out Seal first. You're not wrong there. I'm just like looking to see if there's something else we can do, but it doesn't really seem like there is. So I guess we're swapping a Seal for a Mindbreak Trap and running with it. That's true. You did have 4 Bowmasters, which I have stupidly cut for fun Magic cards. Nope, not this one. If we were on the play, probably not this one, but this one's not it. It's Mulligan. Ah, Force, Wasteland, Fluster, beautiful. Is this this is a bottom bobble hand, yeah? So I can probe. When's Doomsday gonna start playing the 1 basic swamp? That's what I want to know. Where's the swamp at? Six card on the play hand for our opponent here. They get to look at our hand. That's cheating. Doesn't make sense, chat. Why would they cast Cataxium Probe when they can just go to twitch.com, twitch.tv/IMActionLevel1? Seems like a waste of 2 life. I'm not saying that my opponent does that. Uh-oh, are we dying turn 1 through force? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They know my secrets. Uh-oh. Doomsday, force. Ancestral win. Dark Ritual. Duress? Duress? I mean, they can't Doomsday here, right? With Duress, Doomsday, no way to break a pile. Like, if they get Wastelanded, it's really bad, right? Oh. Oh. Are they consulting for Doomsday, maybe? Or for Force, maybe? I mean, we're always letting Demonic Consultation resolve, right? Unless their hand is Oracle Flusterstorm, in which case we would lose. Damn. I mean, I can beat Oracle Flusters. Oh, I can't beat Oracle Flusterstorm, right? Because they can just Flusterstorm now. Okay, so I just always let this resolve then. Because I can't beat Oracle Flusterstorm as it is if I counter this. So they could just crack right now. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, we'll find out what they're tuning for. I mean, if it's not okay, they went 25 cards deep for a Doomsday. Did they lose their Oracles? They only lost one Oracle. They did bring in 2 Murktide Regents, which is good to know. They kept in Fatal Push for Bowmaster, probably. Definitely forcing this. They have Force backup. They do have Force backup. All right, well, F6. They didn't hit... Obviously, they don't hit Black Lotus. This looks like hard to win from my spot, actually, because they can just draw into Black Lotus to play around Wasteland, and Flusterstorm doesn't hit anything, really. So maybe I was supposed to pitch Flusterstorm? That doesn't sound right. Any chance letting Doomsday resolve was correct? I don't think so. I just, like, don't have the mana to, like, combat. Maybe with Flusterstorm, I did have the mana to combat that. Like, I'd have to not Wasteland them. I would keep Flusterstorm Force up. Yeah, maybe that was actually correct to not let Doomsday, or to let Doomsday resolve there. Huh. Because, like, what's their hand going to be? It's going to be, like, Street Wraith, Lotus, Oracle, right? Yeah, I didn't really consider that. That is... I mean... It's possible they can't win the game in one turn anyways, right? I mean, we also get to probe their hand, which is pretty important to see their one card. So we can probably build their pile. We should probably build their pile. All right, so they have Black Lotus in pile. They have Oracle in pile, likely, because we haven't probed them yet. A lot of Street Wraiths were exiled, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's no Street Wraiths in their pile. There's no Time Walk. There's no Moxen. What about Probe? There's no Misstep. There is a Probe in their pile. There's a Probe in the pile. I gotta go through lands at some point here. I feel like I should just wait until I probe them to make this stuff. Oh, I drew Mental Misstep. Does that help me? Stops their probe, right? Dark Ritual is their last card. So they can't win the game immediately, and we have a misstep for a probe. I guess we can look at their top card as well. It is probe. So I can get away with building out my mana here. And then I can just misstep the probe. What's their other 2 cards here? Black Lotus, Oracle, Probe. Do they have any lands or anything? Well, no, there's an Oracle in their 3-1. So it's right now I have Black Lotus, Oracle, Probe, Ritual, and 2 unknowns. 1 Underground Sea, 2 Underground Seas. I can get rid of this, right? 1 Underground Sea, 2 Underground Sea, 3 Underground Seas. No, not ancestral. One underground sea, two underground seas. Three underground seas. I think a sea is there. Oh, the 4 seas in play. Okay. Yeah, all right. I mean, it only makes sense that they were street race, but I think all the street race are gone, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. All street rates are gone. Well, I don't need to waste because I know their hand is ritual probe. I can just misstep probe and like get my mana going here. I don't know if that matters, to be honest, but like there's no other misstep target, right? So what about forces, I guess? Force, force, not force. I mean, what other cards matter? It's not a land, it's not force. It's gotta be a counter spell, right? One fluster. Two flusters. Let me go look at their deck. They only have two flusters in their 75. So what about duress, I guess? Duress. They only have two duresses in their 75. Mental misstep? No. Brainstorm? No. Time walk? No. I don't know. I don't really know what these other two cards are here, but and I do know their hand is Dark Ritual Probe, and I'm gonna misstep the probe, so no, one Oracle is exiled, so Brain Freeze is lethal. Breach is not. It's not Basic Island. I mean, they just cast Oracle next turn and I lose at the moment, so yeah, maybe I was supposed to let Doomsday resolve. I drew Force like a god. I guess they could wait one more turn for Flusterstorm if they have one. Oh, they're waiting, so they have a counter? So they must have a third Fluster, right? If they're not winning here. They must have a third Fluster? They must have added a third Fluster here. I feel like they must have added a third Fluster here. So I need to draw another blue card, right? If I draw a blue card, then I can have Force plus Fluster. Cool. I feel like I got really lucky to win this game, and I actually kind of played badly. I feel like I played badly in this game. I think I got bailed out. Oh, they're making me do it. So it was third Fluster. All right, that makes sense. I wonder if it was like better for them to jam without Fluster. Yeah, we drew really well to get out of this game. I think I was wrong, and I should have just let Doomsday resolve. What was the card they pitched to Force? Anyone remember? I drew like a god here and just drew my way out of it. Dress down would have been pretty damn good too. I mean, I had a lot of good draws for what it's worth, but does anyone know what they pitched to Force? Was it Preordained Ponder or something? They exiled Mental Misstep to force. Wow, that would have been kind of tricky. So their hand would have been Force, Misstep, Dark Ritual. Hmm. I do think we were incorrect in letting countering Doomsday because of the what Not Me brought up, where I can't actually counter anything with Flusterstorm in the pile they're going to build without drawing into something. So I think it's actually better for us to just let Doomsday resolve and then have Force Fluster and then attack the Black Lotus. Yeah. I mean, we didn't know if they had a Force or not, or what their last card was of the three. But I think you can reasonably come to the conclusion there that it will probably cover more. It'll probably cover more things if you let it resolve. So yeah, I think I played this game badly and got bailed out. So all right, round 4 out of 6, up against a possible Jewel Shop's opponent. This has a force we keep. Also has Saga Wasteland, all the best lands in the format, and the ability to get an island. Kind of broken, actually. And the ability to look at their hand for free. What more could you want? Ugh. We're just living the dream over here. Not really. It's just a good hand. It's not the dream. We can definitely live the dream harder. All right. Probe, target you. Look at your hand, full free. All right, so we've got one payoff spell. Saga, Workshop, Monolith, Pearl, Crypt, Monolith, and Ring, one payoff. And I have a Wasteland for Saga. All right, this looks pretty good. Currently not planning any Four Seasons at the moment. Just saving up time off work so that I can do a big Eternal Weekend trip, hit Japan and Europe. All right, so the Workshop is gone, and the Pearl is gone, and my Negation is gone, and the One Ring is gone. And the Mana Crypt, sure. And a Monolith. Oh, not a Monolith. They drew a top. I think I need to let top go, unfortunately. I don't know. Can I counter top? Is that legal? Make them truly top deck? Or do I want to have them spin? This is actually a pretty tough choice. Like, top represents the ability to find a next payoff easier and find multiple payoffs. It expands the range of hits to have key as well. But if I counter it and then they just naturally top deck a ring or a jewel, that's the problem, right? They don't have any shuffles in their deck, so if they don't have multiple hits in their first top, or in their top, it doesn't really matter that much. I don't think we're close to casting Cruise. I guess if we got a Black Lotus, we're close to casting Cruise, but so maybe I could have pitched Cruise instead. Yeah, maybe. I kind of felt like I was gonna pitch both forces anyways, so I'm just gonna let this go, but I'm not happy about it. Like, we're definitely getting a Soul Ring off the first Saga, so our second Saga can make constructs, right? Oh, yeah, I mean, if I draw a blue card for turn, but then I can, like, cast Lorien Revealed. It's the same as Treasure Cruising, right? I guess it's, like, harder to cast. It's pretty similar, though. right. So this gets me a Soul Ring. I can make constructs and wasteland their Saga. And I still have a force for their first payoff they find. They have 2 monoliths in hand. All right, they have 1 unknown in hand. And they pass. Right. Just drawn Moxen. So I don't have to get Soul Ring anymore. Because I can make the construct right away. I guess that gives them the ability to metamorph a construct, but that's... I don't know if that's something I care about playing around. I could go Lotus and go Lurrus Lotus. Is that better? Oh, I guess I can't do that because I'm going to play Wasteland this turn. All right, I think I'm still just supposed to get Soul Ring. I don't have enough to buy Lurrus right now. Maybe I played this badly. I don't know. Feels right to get Soul Ring, but there are other options. This next turn might actually be a Lava Spur Boots turn. It's probably a Lotus turn, but it could be a Lava Spur Boots turn and just try to tempo my opponent out of this game at 14 life. 2 constructs. Might be enough. Makes a 3/3, makes a 4/4, makes a 5/5, makes 11 damage attacks. Saga Gaming. Might just need to get a key then. Oh, I draw a Wasteland? Okay, I think I'm just going to go Spur then and just make this a 2-turn clock. Actually, is it already a 2-turn clock? It already is a 2-turn clock, right? So there's no reason to... There's no reason to get a Boots here because I'm going to get 5 damage and then there's 10 damage and it's just lethal anyways. I don't want to get a key because I don't want them to copy key and like somehow backdoor. But if I get a Lotus, I can't even play Lurrus this turn anyways. If they like play a Metamorph next turn plus a spell, I think I'm just gonna get Boots. Anyways, so let's get a Boots here in case they like play a blocker plus because I don't want to actually counter a blocker. My opponent question marked me 5 minutes ago. I wonder what they question marked me about. Oh, this also puts them on a mana crypt flip. Wait, Lava Spur Boots? Oh, they won the flip. Damn. Lava Spore Boots actually pretty kind of sick there, actually. Not bad, not bad. So now I just have to counter 1 rings or jewels, and I don't have to counter anything else. Like, I can't really have to counter Metamorph or anything. That was pretty nice. Okay. We played a little Delver action. A little Urza Saga is actually Delver of Secrets. True or false? We did draw Wasteland for what it's worth. Those were very good draws. All right. I do think our Jewel matchup is very nice. And we have a lot of cards to bring in again, so nice 5-card sideboard for Jewel. We got Missteps and Flusters to take out. And then we took out Snapcaster and Swords before, which I still kind of like. Delver isn't about how much it attacks for. It's a concept. It's a feeling. I think Valky is better than Snap or Swords. Taking a Metamorph out of hand and it's pretty reasonable. Force, Demonic, sure. We have a Stony Silence in our deck, right? We don't have a white source at the moment. I don't know if this Stony Silence should just be I feel like our Stony Silence should just be a Null Rod. Oh, they did go for Worm Coil Engine. Do I even care? Like, do I even care? I didn't keep in the swords, but I have Steel Sabotages and Dress Downs and Seal of Cleansings. I can chump it. I feel like I don't care about this card. If I lose to this card, chat, it's my fault, obviously. But I feel like I don't care enough about countering that card. Strip Mine. Just go Valky. Not Valky, Voltki. Like, it's just a 6/6 Death Touch or whatever. Who cares? Like, I like, they could have PO, right? I need to be able to counter PO or the One Ring or a Metamorph. Does that matter? Attacks for 6 to 14. I untap and Demonic. They attack for 12 down to 2. I don't think that matters either, right? Man, I wish I had Steel Sabotage here, though. Yeah, this doesn't matter either. We just Demonic down. Force if they have anything left, and then Bulky them. They can't do anything about it. They don't have Wastelands in their deck. They just tried to play some 6/6s. What format do they think this is? I can still force it well through this damage. All right, well, good try. I still had all of these. Yep, that's Jewel Shops. If they had a coveted jewel, I would have had to force it, and then the Metamorph wouldn't have had a target anyways, so I don't know if it would have mattered very much, but I don't know. It's just oops all spells. Like, you just counter their thing and you win. I don't know. All right, here we go. Round 5 of 6. Win will put us in a great spot. We're up against the OG. Oh, it's Slash. I see. Yeah, see, I mean, whatever. We're up against the OG, the Deck 84 from Italy, the Tinker Breach Gamer, holding strong with his preferred deck, even with the Lurrus gamers abound. Doesn't care. Multiple Moxen. Tinker you on turn 1. No shame. All right, well, now I think we should be in a decent spot. We've got Force Blue card, Misstep Flusterstorm. We've got part of a combo. We've got an answer to Saga. Double on color Mox. I mean, it's the deck 84. This is what you sign up for. Island. Tinka? Narset. I don't think I want a Narset in play. I'm going to counter this pitching. Huh. What am I pitching? Lorien? I can pay for a Flusterstorm with a mental misstep was kind of my thinking. Demonic Tutor. Does that win the game on the spot or no? Demonic for a Lotus. You know, we don't have enough cards in our yard, right? We're pretty close. I feel like we have to hold open Fluster, though. Kind of need one more mana, or don't we? We're very close to breach comboing our opponent here. Passing the turn. Kind of wanted to like mental misstep something, get more cards in our yard. Maybe we'll draw Black Lotus. Ataxian Probe, that's a good one. That is a good one. Card in the yard, look at the hand. Not a bad one. Oh, they have, oh no, they have Breach, Brain Freeze, Force. I don't think that matters though, right? As long as we don't draw cards. So, do we win now? Land, Demonic. Land, Demonic, Brain Freeze. Sorry, Land, Demonic, Lotus, Breach. I feel like this wins. Cast Demonic a second time. Sorry. Yeah. Demonic for a Lotus. Player land. Demonic for a Lotus. 7 mana in play. Breach for... Sorry. Demonic for a Lotus with 5 mana in play. And then I just need to have 3 other cards in yard that are not Demonic or Lotus. And then I just Demonic for... Brain Freeze. Demonic is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm short, right? I'm short. All right, so I have to Demonic this turn then, right? Then I get... Well, they still have 4 mana and a Force of their own, chat. I guess if they have 4 mana, this is the first spell we cast. If I get a Black Lotus right now... I think we're short, right? Black Lotus. 3 cards in yard. I mean, we're not sure if they... No, because we're going to be short. So I'm going to just get the... Is it better to get the Black Lotus? Or is it better to get the Freeze? Because we have to beat a Force. What if they just go kill us here? Like, can't they just kill us here if they just, like, get lucky? I'm, like, pretty worried about this setup here. Like, if they force me next turn, I can't really combo kill them at all. Huh. Should I get a counter spell? Should I get an ancestral? Maybe I should just get an ancestral. They force the ancestral, and then I mean they could just freeze themselves at end of turn here. This is super bad for us, isn't it? No, they can just freeze themselves at end of turn here for 9 and hit anything. Maybe I should just get a force. So I have force fluster. But then I'm just so far from winning. I'm like pretty worried about end of turn freeze here. I guess I would have to Flusterstorm their freeze. Maybe not. I'm like super worried about this spot. This is not a spot I have a lot of experience in, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to get Black Lotus or Brain Freeze here, though. I definitely am not playing Black Lotus, so they would go 9 cards deep. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. If they just go end of turn Brain Freeze, we're going to die. I think I have to go Force. This is like a coward's play, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna die here. Like, they're gonna put at least 12 cards in the yard. Like, I don't think Flusterstorming here is good. Because they just pay for 2. I guess they pay for 1. Citadel, Flusterstorm, Saga, Top Volk. Saga, Scroll, Brain Freeze. I think I made the right play. It's just like not a very good. I mean, I guess I have Breach Demonic still, right? So it's not actually that bad. What is this? Are they cycling Dress Down? They hit all 4 Sagas. That's kind of funny. They just draw Dig Through Time? Is that what they just drew? They just drew Dig Through Time? Shit. I can't counter that. They drew Dig Through Time. Their hand is Force, Stretch Down, Breach. I can't fluster this. I could force this. But then on the next turn, they could go Breach, Freeze, but they're not going to hit, right? I think I'm supposed to force this. Like, it's a lot less dangerous now. They can, like, if they hit a land drop, they can go Breach, Merchant, Ancestral, but, like, that's not a huge deal, right? The only thing, like, is if they draw, like, a Lotus off the top, I guess. I'm not convinced this is the correct play, by the way. All right, so now I can just fluster this, and then they have left is a Breach, and I have a Breach, but I have a Demonic, so. All right, well, this worked out really well for me. I actually don't have the ability to Demonic, right? Because, oh no, I do, because I just flustered. Okay. So I still need, like, extra help, though, right? Chat, is that enough? If I Breach, Demonic. I mean, I can always re-breach later, because I have Lurrus in my deck, right? So am I supposed to just go Breach, Demonic, Ancestral, Ancestral myself? Wasteland myself. Gives me 4 mana, 2 more cards in my yard. Demonic for 3, 2 more cards. Demonic again. I think that's lethal then. So if I make a black mana, oh sorry, make a blue mana, black mana, 2 more cards in my yard, 3 cards, 3 cards. So I can cast 2 spells from my yard. So if my first demonic gets a Lotus, and then my second demonic, wait, am I still mana short though? Of actually casting a Breach? Because I have 4 mana in play right now. Breach, demonic to 0 mana, Breach. Yeah, I'm still short, right? Pretty sure I'm still short of mana. So I have 4 mana. I can cast Breach, demonic again, but then I can't cast Brain Freeze, right? So I think that's a bad play. But I think I'm still supposed to go Breach, demonic, ancestral. Like I could die, I guess, but I can buy Lurrus back later. I think it's Breach, demonic, ancestral. Force, fluster, force. Like they still have a Breach in hand, but none of my answers are very good here. Besides like getting a High Noon and playing it. I do think we would win the game if we get a High Noon. I can't recast 3 spells. I can only recast 2. I can only cast 2 spells, so I can't like recast Lotus twice. I don't have enough cards in my yard to do that. All right, I'm gonna get an Ancestral Recall, and I'm gonna cast Ancestral Recall targeting myself. I drew the Black Lotus. Does that mean I win? Because I have 5 mana now? Yes, because it's a fetch land. Yeah, I win because it's a fetch land. Oh, I can't Ancestral them, but it doesn't matter. All right, we got there. I mean, that was a crazy Ancestral, but... Demonic. Brain freeze ourselves. That was very lucky. Stay over here. We could Vault Key. we could cast Vault Key right now for fun. Should we kill them in a different way than brainstorm? I mean, brainstorming and seeing their whole deck is probably better. I know their last card is Breach, right? Like what a... All right. So they have, I mean, they're just the same deck they've played for 8 years. All right, 2 brain freezes. Nah, that's the prizes from the TFT tournament. All right. We just the deck 84, the deck 84. Okay. I think this is a Stony Silence matchup, possibly. I don't really I don't know. Like any card I bring in also hurts me, right? That was the first time Breach has been good splash. What do I even want in this matchup? Narset, 3 breaches, 2 dress downs, Tinker, Citadel, a Soul Guide. Yeah, I don't know why don't we have a Soul Guide in our sideboard? Soul Guide's so good, man. Every time we just like don't have a Soul Guide in our sideboard. Sad, Justin. There's like gifts ungiven. Banger. Pyroblasts, Flusterstorms, Needles, Soul Guide Lantern, a Braid, a Hercules. I don't know. It's just the same stuff. Is Stony Silence good against them? Do they have any answers to Stony Silence? No. They have no answers to Stony Silence because there's no repeal in their deck. I guess they can play Saga tokens, but Jailer does not interact favorably with Breach. Cage does, but like Cage also stops our Lurrus and our Breach. I think Cage is only really here for Oath. I think I'm bringing in Stony and I'm bringing in Mindbreak Trap, and then I'm cutting. Is Imperial Seal even restricted? It is restricted, but I'm gonna cut this Lava Spore Brutes. I don't think those are good in the matchup here. And I am going to cut Valky, maybe? Feels fine. Like I could get to the point of cast. Oh, actually, there's nothing to Swords to Plowshares, right? Unless maybe I should keep it in for constructs. But then at that point, I'd rather have Hercules recall, right? I'll just come out for swords. It's restricted and it's never played anywhere. Cutting an island is fine. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it. You're right though. I gotta play a little bit faster. I had to tell chat they were wrong about the math twice, which ended up costing me a couple minutes. More, I had to double check to make sure we were actually. This is a keep, right? I'm keeping. I always keep these hands. Force, probe, on the draw, ancestral. Not ideal, but definitely did not want those cards. Mystical Tutor. All right. I wish I had a blue card. Ah, blue land. I'm getting Ancestral with Flusterstorm back up. I mean, I'm just supposed to force still, right? It's unfortunate, but... Yep. Wasteland in their end step? Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know. Like if I draw another Wasteland, don't I want to be able to buy a card here? You're probably right. Ah, I don't know. Like if we Wasteland in their end step and then they play a Saga, we lose, right? I guess we could have held just down. You're probably right though. I don't know. I'm like very reluctant to Wasteland anything that's not a Saga. Vampiric Tutor is a very different card than Imperial Seal, for what it's worth. I don't know what's going on in chat. Oh, I want to counter this so badly, man. All right. Value. I don't think we're going to win this game for anyone keeping track at home. It also plays around negation by doing it in their end step. I mean, I think there are winning chances in this game if we draw the fetch land right now. Mox Pearl. Are we jamming a Stony Silence here? Nope. I'm going to go get a Lurrus. Or when I draw the Jet next turn. Yeah, we're dead here. They have too many counter spells in their deck for this to work out for us, unfortunately. Wait, what are these revealed cards, by the way? Did I probe them? Did I just not look at the hand after I probe them? Classic Justin Gaming. Okay, so they used Ancestral and Force and Underground Sea and Mystical Tutor and Dress Down. So they still have Force Time Walk. I just forgot to look at the probe. I had it open and I just forgot to look at it. How's that happen? Oh, so they have Force. Because I bought Lurrus, I lose to Time Walk here because I didn't look at my probe. Okay, well, you know, this is things that could have been avoided. Oh, they brainstormed. You're right. This is something that could have been avoided, though. I should never have bought Lurrus here if I knew they had Time Walk. So they did brainstorm, but they didn't fetch, so now they fetched. I played bad and deserve it. I mean, it's going to be a 1-1. Like, it's whatever. It's fine. Okay. All right, sit up. Drink some water. Not a blue land. That is a black spell. Unlucky. All right, well, they made a 1-1, so... I have a lot of good cards in my hand if I draw blue land. Or Black Lotus. No, not them! Am I getting breach killed here? Feels likely. Two. Coming in. I still feel like this game is winnable. No, we're getting breach killed. Gross. Should have played Stony Silence. All right, I mean, I just knew they'd have like a million counters at this point. How many Ancestrals are they casting off of this? Let's just go next. Let's go next. Oh, I definitely should have looked at their hand after probing. I don't think that would have mattered much. I just was a couple cards late. I think we're a pretty good spot in that game if I draw a blue land earlier. I definitely want a Stony and a High Noon in my deck at like some point to like seal up the game. Don't really want to draw them in my opener though. All right, on the play, got a cat. I've got Saga, Lorien, High Noon, 8 million counter spells. It's probably fine. Hopefully they just go all in on a turn 1 Tinker. That would make me happy. All right. Let's see what happens here. Counterspells on High Noon pretty good together. Probably doing an early jam of this one. Though I guess if they like play an Ancestral after my High Noon on resolves, it's kind of bad. But Moxen is pretty good here to make constructs. They have an Ancestral, of course. I kind of feel like I'm supposed to let the Ancestral resolve, but I kind of don't want to let the Ancestral resolve. Flusterstorm. Well, let's see if I have a force for my High Noon here. 1 spell per turn. Who does that favor? Question mark. Should be me. I put it in my deck, right? All right, so what is this getting me? Stony Silence. I don't feel like we're in a Stony Silence spot, but what are we in? What kind of spot are we in? Maybe we are in a Stony Silence spot. I can only play 1 spell a turn, so I can't actually protect this. So what is my best card to get? Especially if I end up turning everything off with a Stony Silence, I could get a Bauble and then draw a card. I didn't bring in Needle, unfortunately. I don't really think that card's that good in this matchup. Yeah, but there's no guarantee I can actually cast the Lurrus later. And then I'm not really looping anything with the Lurrus. Is it really good? I can also hold up Flusterstorm as an extra counter spell. Don't know if that's necessary or not. I feel like Bob just get a card is fine. Brain Freeze on top. All right, I'm going to cast Stony Silence, no counterspell. Back up here. That might come back and bite me. We'll find out together. Because I actually can't beat a Saga at the moment, so I probably should not have played this card. They did not fetch. Okay. I drew another Flusterstorm. Okay. Yeah, they have a Saga. All right. Well, now I need to draw a Wasteland. I mean, I was never like beating a Saga here anyways. I just don't have the cards that in my hand for it. Did I get rid of a Dress Down? I did. What did I pitch for Dress Down? I should have pitched something else. Did I had Negation or Trap or Flusterstorm? Or did I not have Flusterstorm? I played this game badly and deserved to lose. This is like a game that someone would go on the internet and complain about the fact that Saga is so broken, where it was just like very easy for me to play around this in a better way, and I just did not. I guess Mindbreak Trap is not turned on until I find 3 lands. But like, what does Flusterstorm do? This is my own fault, though. I mean, I can get bailed out by drawing Wasteland, but I did this to myself here. This was just such a bad play. Never fucking punished. Not once in the history of the game. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, it's just about who draws more lands at this point. And I kept my island in, so that's nice. Have an Ambush Viper. My opponent can't, like, kill me with combo cards, but they can sure as hell can kill me with a Saga, so... yeah, lands. I mean, I got an Narset and Ancestral. Those are two of the better cards they can have. But I also can't protect my own Lurrus, really. These cards don't do anything. Kind of need to draw my lands. Opponent's got them. I have more lands in my deck than my opponent does, right? And I have Lorians. That is just never resolving. Not casting this on my turn, but if they cast a spell on their turn that I don't counter or something, then I can Ancestral. Probably wait on that one. Okay, what is this? Ponder? Sick. So now I can resolve this at any point. So I should let them ponder first. But I'm going to resolve an Ancestral now because they cast the ponder. They shuffled. All right, we go to end step. They can only cast one spell a turn, so I'm going to use my one spell to resolve an Ancestral. I need lands. I have lands. Sick. They go to cleanup. Mox Pearl. Tundra. All right, I'm going to use my Time Walk here so that I can build out my mana base. They might counter it. They might not. Who knows? I'm just going to get rid of a Brain Freeze. And I go to my next one. I'm going to play Misty. And then I'm going to pass. I don't want to buy Lurrus. I think I'd like to have Flusterstorm up. And I'm going to play this Ambush Viper to try to win the game. Ah, that is a good draw. My opponent has drawn more Sagas than I have now. And I don't have another Wasteland coming. I also only have one more Dress Down in my deck that I don't have in my hand either. I think we're in trouble now. Though they haven't been playing Moxen out. So that is a problem for them because they won't be very large. Is an Ambush Viper... I should still play an Ambush Viper, though. I guess that's them resolve something here on the end step. What could they possibly resolve, though? I guess a Dig Through Time is what they could possibly resolve. But I can't counter Dig Through Time anyways. Yeah, I mean, I think just Ambush Viper for attacking purposes seems fine. But, I mean, they're going to have a construct at some point here. Unless I draw another Wasteland. Survey says... I mean... if you put the good cards in your deck, you draw the good cards. What is this? 4 mana. Oh, this is a Gifts Ungiven. Sick. But also no. Those Wastelands did come at opportune moments. I will say that as much is true. Hey, we're getting paid back for how bad that one game went, right? Well, I can't aggressively F6, or I would like not have been able to Flusterstorm my my Gifts Ungiven here. Still need to draw lands. All right, now they're going to start playing out their Moxen. Saga Gaming, here we go. They don't have answers like I do. We're cooking now. Actually, I should buy Lurrus this turn. Also have 5 damage if I ever make it to 5 mana. I don't know. This is looking like a nice little control victory. Little prison style. I should have played a Mox out. You are right. I should have played a Mox out. Pyroblast on Snappy. He's dead. Oh, we've got doming mana. Let's do the 1 mana card here. This does let opponent resolve a card if they have one, but Gifts with Given was the card I was most worried about them casting because it's something I could actually interact with. Obviously, they have 2 more dress downs in their deck, though, so those could prolong the game quite a bit. Kind of wish I brought in Needle, huh? Yeah, I think this is fine. I don't really think flustering it is that good. I think I want to crack both of my lands now. High Noon's great. If they dress down, I could probably play Lurrus in the same turn, which is nice. I mean, I'm still supposed to make 2 constructs, so I guess I can't play Lurrus unless I draw a land. I drew a Force. That's not the worst either. Is there anything to get off this? Not really. Just take cards out of our deck. Don't think I'm supposed to play any more Moxa out. It's a little unfortunate because I should have played the Mox the other turn. It would have been a lot faster of a clock, but I need to hold up in Force here, not play a Moxen in case they play a dress down that I can counter. But they're deterministically dead next turn. If they actually, they're just deterministically dead unless they have double dress down, right? Dress down on their turn, dress down on my turn. Because I have a Force. Wow. High Noon! It's High Noon! If they have 1 dress down, probably on my upkeep is their best call, but it will lose. We played some Prison. Woo! That's exciting. Merchant Scroll. Okay, Merchant Scroll resolves, because that's their 1 spell this turn, and then their 1 spell next turn I can just counter, so... They have a Hercules Recall, maybe? I guess technically they're not dead, because I didn't play that Mox. That 1 Mox was really bad. Oh, I don't have the mana, because the Saga has Vanishing. True. Yeah, the 1 missed Mox turn was actually really, really important, because this would have been lethal constructs. That was a huge deal, huh? That's crazy. Oh, I guess if they go Hercules, I actually can go Flusterstorm. If I draw a blue card, I'll still have Force. It's kind of crazy, too. This looks good. Their deck just doesn't have any ways to deal with enchantments. They don't have a repeal in their 75. They don't have a Chain of Vapor in their 75. So High Noon, Stony Silence, lock them out. The only way they win are constructs, and we luckily drew Wasteland the 2 times they drew Saga, so we did get very lucky to win this game, but to be fair, we could have, you know, had more Sagas, had more Wastelands earlier. We have 5 Wastelands in our deck, so. Dig Through Time is the spell they're going to cast, but if I can draw a blue card, the game is locked up. If I can draw a land, the game is locked up. Though I guess if they have gone for a dig here, I could just play the land to try to kill them, right? Because if they cast a dig, I just play a Mox and kill them with a Mox. Because if they cast a dig, then they can't cast another spell this turn, right? Oh, they have an Abrade. Is it worth it to counter Abrade? Land wins, but I lose my blue card for force. I can just do this again on the next turn. It's kind of close, isn't it? Like, I can play a Mox this turn. I can actually play an uncounterable Lurrus this turn. I think this is fine. I did drew the blue card anyways. Yeah, maybe this was wrong. Maybe I was just supposed to fluster that. I was like a little worried, but this is also still lethal, so... Also, this helps play around dress down a little bit. I think my play was bad. I think my play was just bad. I'm just gonna negate this dig through time. It makes them look at too many cards. And that way, I mean, they can still like do something in my upkeep here, but... Oh, right. I have a force on my turn. We're definitely not supposed to counter the dig through time. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, it was bad. I played this game badly, this last part. I'm supposed to let the dig resolve and have force on my turn. I don't know why I did that. It was stupid, super silly. Very bad play. Don't really think I can lose. They can just like dress down or have an Abrade or something, but I think it's fine. I didn't play the ending section of that well, but I played the beginning pretty well, so. Yeah, definitely let the dig resolve because I have the Force of Will for their one spell on my turn. Or I could have forced and had hard cast negation. Yeah, literally anything other than what I did. I kind of let it slip as I tried to play faster. My bad. I mean, I don't think they can ever get out of High Noon Stony Silence anyways. And when the minute I draw another land, they're dead. So like, there's not a lot of problems here, but yeah, I mean, I fumbled again. I fumbled at the end there for sure. Okay, here we go. Sixth and final round, Vintage Challenge. We are in a good spot, striking distance, win and in. Opponent last seen playing Lurrus Saga 22 days ago. Don't know if that will be still true, but I have a cat. They were last seen on an Esper version. All right, Saga Gaming versus Saga Gaming. I've got a High Noon. This hand does not look very good, but I think it's fine. I mean, I'm just gonna go land, Pearl, go aggressively Spell Pierce, cycle into a land by Lurrus. I think it's okay. Like, it's not good. This hand is not good. I'm not gonna make that argument, but I don't think this is a mulligan, and especially like in a possible Lurrus Saga mirror. Like, I'm gonna Spell Pierce literally anything they play here. Am I gonna Spell Pierce that? No, I want to Spell Pierce a Moxen. I want to Spell Pierce that. They don't have a Moxen? I don't understand. Ooh, that's a good draw. This feels like a buy Lurrus angle. Woot woot. I ain't playing around. They have a Nihil Spellbomb. Can't breach combo him now. Sad day. Wasteland. And a Moxen? No, we're just sagaing for fun? I see. I see. Ow, this wasn't in my list of cards that exist. Sorry. I'm sorry. 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 I feel like I'm not supposed to play my Lurrus now. I don't think playing High Noon is good. Is it good? Because then I can't protect my Lurrus ever. But it does slow them down a lot. What if I play Lurrus, get it countered, and then play High Noon? Is that better? I mean, they're not playing a Lurrus. Are they playing a Lurrus? Maybe they're playing a Lurrus. All right, well, I mean, if we're going to do that, we should play Lurrus first, right? You just play Lurrus and then we play High Noon? Oh, am I getting a volcanic island, though? This kind of sucks, actually. I mean, if they're... all right, whatever. It's too late. Wait a second. Did I tap my mana badly? Kind of. Not really. Everything is just resolving? Do I want to hold open Spell Pierce? I guess so. What a weird turn. All right, well... we can loop High Noons. That's things Magic the Gathering vintage players say, and things guys at a college frat party say. Yeah, unless they waste the Volk. I don't know. I mean, I should not have fetched, clearly. I clearly should not have fetched. It was wrong of me to fetch. I realized that right after I fetched. Oh, they have double Strip Mine. The Gataxian Probe. All right. Well, that's your last spell for the turn, so... Island cycling. Why didn't we do that first? Couldn't we have played a Lurrus? I guess I have a High Noon. Maybe you don't want to play a Lurrus. They're gonna just hit my Volcanic, right? And my Underground Sea. But then they can't play anything. What's the plan? Are they gonna cycle? Oh, I guess they have a Nihil Spellbomb, so I cannot loop High Noons. Okay. Dress down. It's pretty damn good here. Let's suit up. I guess this means I can't activate High Noon, but I wasn't gonna plan. I'm not really planning on activating High Noon. And then we probably can't attack into Mox Jet, so we just pass. I guess I could have attacked and had a Dress Down open as my spell. Are they just going to cycle for a card? No, they're going to play a Dress. All right. Maybe I was supposed to just attack and have Dress Down open and then Dress Down as my one spell for the turn. I guess that could have been better. Yeah, that seems like it would have been better. Are they going to time twister me here? They didn't know my hand, though, so no. They're going to play Seal of Cleansing. and they have 2 mana to pay for it. Well, that's annoying. Guess it means I'm throwing the High Noon at the Bowmaster at some point here. Should I play a main phase Dress Down as my 1 spell per turn? Yes. I mean, or I could Brain Freeze myself and hit more cards to hit with Lurrus. I mean, they have Spell Bomb and Seal of Cleansing. It's very hard for me to do anything. I'm going to have to get rid of these cards if I want to win the game. They can still have a second Bowmaster too, which I need to worry about if I want to like attack or something. Oh, they're just end of turn hitting my High Noon. Okay, and then are they gonna hit it from the yard with Nihil Spellbomb and get rid of both? Okay, I mean I got rid of everything. This is good for me. Like they got rid of all my stuff. They drew a card. It's good, but then like I have an unlocked Lurrus, and I can actually end step Brain Freeze now, right? I feel like I should definitely do that. Yeah, this looks really good for me. I mean, these play patterns are very awkward. Like, these are not normal play patterns, so I don't expect my opponent to get them right on the first time. I only hit so far Saga Key, Misstep Demonic, Underground Sea, Wasteland, Saga Lotus, and Brain Freeze. So if I hit a Breach, I win. I have an extra Lotus now. I have a Key coming. And I have a Force still, and I drew a Saga. Okay. And oh, I have Dress Down still as well. No, I got a new Dress Down. Cool. So what's best? It's an end step Dress Down is my best. Just looks like an end step. Oh, I guess my Saga is getting strip mined, but that's fine. So now we're just loop Dress Down every turn, and then eventually we'll key them. Yeah, this worked out. I don't need red mana anymore. I guess that's any point they could hit me. Yeah, I mean, we're in a good spot. Dress down, draws, fluster. Yeah, I mean, we're ahead on mana. We've got counter spells. Yep, dress down is so good. Dress down's good without Lurrus. Dress down with Lurrus is like, wooey. Can't attack, unfortunately, but Emerald. Seems like we're in an okay spot. Too early to say, but could be in a chat. Could have a chance here. It's gonna be a second Bowmaster. Kind of feel like it's a second Bowmaster. Oh, negation. Wow. Force of will, pitching negation. Do we counter this? The storm is currently 4 or 3. I mean, fluster's not enough. They pay for fluster. I mean, we can fluster and pierce, which might still be correct. I think it is. 2 cards in my opponent's hand. I'm still drawing a card off of this. I guess Twister is the problem. If my opponent untaps and Twisters me... Oh no, I won't. It won't be a problem because the dress down will resolve. So this seems fine. And then at some point I'll be able to hardcast these forces anyways. Two cards in the opponent's hand. This is the second Bowmaster, right? Or do they have... Oh, they have Vampiric Tutor. I guess I could get Volt Keyed. If I don't draw a blue card, I could get Volt Keyed, maybe. Could get Volt Keyed and die. That'd be pretty impressive. Oh, swords on my Lurrus is what they went for. That makes sense too, I guess. Flustering. No, Flustering first loses to Mental Misstep, so you don't want to do that. Why didn't the Ward 1 trigger? Because the equipped creature has it and it was dress downed, I believe. All right, well, I've come back to the drawing only mana thing. I'm gonna hold that for possible. I mean, maybe I'll just lose this game again, just draw only mana and die. I mean, I have Lorians in my deck, right? Like, my opponent should probably wasteland this Volcanic Island because if I draw Breach, I win. So they should probably hit that. Draw Tibalt. That'd be pretty sick. Two cards in my opponent's hand. Lurrus +1. They have a 2-power clock. They're holding up maybe Force or something. Breach wins. Vampiric Tutor. I definitely don't want to cast that until I know what I can get. Three cards in the opponent's hand with a Lurrus. Blue. Time Walk. All right. And Lurrus, I assume. Which I'll counter. I have to counter. Well, it doesn't automatically win, chat. They have Wastelands in play. We have to wait and see what they do and make the best play around what they have open. They're not playing the Lurrus. They're just time walking for damage and a card. Okay. Feels like they're trying to find like a Force of Will backup. Like maybe they have a Force of Will and they're trying to find a blue card kind of thing. Nothing. All right, well, I can't get Breach. Also, I can't get Volt Key because they killed my Lurrus. I can't get Breach or Valky. And all my other things are draw cards. I might just have to commit to a draw card. Our lines are like pretty bad, right? I feel like we have to just hope they don't wasteland us. Maybe I should have played the Manifold Key out earlier off of the Lurrus instead of looping dress downs. Like none of our other things are good, right? I guess I have Snapcaster Demonic Tutor. What if we do Snapcaster Demonic Tutor? Well, Valky. Oh, you mean this side of Valky? Holy shit! What the hell? So if they waste us, we play. I mean, maybe we're just always playing. Well, what if they have second Bowmaster? Second Bowmaster. I can activate in response, so it's probably fine. Is that actually the play? Wow, that might be the play. Let's try it. Yeah, but they have a Lurrus in their hand. Oh, I can't do it in response. So if they have a Lurrus and they have a Bowmaster, yeah, okay, true. So then I can't actually activate in response. They just let me have it. This thing costs 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I can't force backup though. I don't think we can cast the big half of Valky. Like, I think they have force, right? Like, the way they played this game, they have force. I mean, they didn't wasteland us, so if we had cast breach, we would have won the game. I mean, they have to have force, right? There's no way they're not playing. There's no way they're doing this if they don't have force, right? Just have Bowmaster. I guess I have force for Bowmaster, but then they just play Lurk. Oh, yeah, I guess I have force for Bowmaster as well, so I think that's okay then. If they don't have force, then I can just make this a Lurrus right away and then do something with my Lurrus. I'm so confused. I mean, they definitely should have wasted a Volcanic, but it's a new deck, so it's hard to say. But I could have. I mean, I don't think I'm allowed to go breach and like hope they don't wasteland Volcanic. Well, they have 2 wastelands. They could even wasteland Volcanic and hold open wasteland for a Saga still. It's just a weird game. So they had force and they have Bowmaster. What? This can't be correct. All right, so I just take the Lurrus and then I turn it into a Lurrus and they Bowmaster in response and then I turn it into a Lurrus again. Okay. Oh, I can actually ward it first, right? Oh no, warding doesn't actually help. So I just turn it into a Lurrus, they respond by Bowmastering, and I turn it into a Lurrus again. Choose a creature with exiled mana. Yeah, 3. Done. And then I do it again. Done. I guess I should have waited till they pinged it, and then they would have dealt this damage not to my face. I messed up. That's my bad. My bad. Sorry. Sorry. Not gonna lie, kind of forgot Lurrus was in my hand. All right, so I can't play Dress Down because I don't have enough mana. Oh, I can attack though. Oh, I can attack though. And I'll just get my Black Lotus. Okay, I just have to hope they don't draw a Time Twister. Wait, we just Valkyried a Lurrus and put the boots on it. Hell yeah. If you want, all of my videos go on YouTube. And I cut out all the downtime unless you don't want to watch unless you do want to watch the downtime. Sometimes there's things in the downtime. But if you watch it on YouTube, I make money, so. All right, they have to not top deck Time Twister here, though. If they don't top deck the Time Twister, I think we're in a spot. And then we're back to dress downing them every turn. Maybe we play a key. This is the sickest thing, though. I need to take a picture of this. Hold on. How do I take a picture of this? I do a timed picture. I'm running out of time, actually. I should not be doing this. Snipping 3. Oh my god, it's not working. All right, whatever. I quit. Just go to the next turn. Draw. Wasteland. I gotta hold that for a Saga. I guess I don't actually have to hold that for a Saga. If they have another Bowmaster, I can just force it. I can go back and take a picture later. They have another Bowmaster off the top. I guess I can just dress down it. It's probably better. It means I don't gain life. Do I die? How much damage do I take? 5. All right, I know their hand. I have 6. Brainstorm. So I can make it unblockable, though. Oh, they can force that? What a crazy match this was. This is game 1. What am I talking about? What a crazy game this was. They drew the Time Twister! That's crazy! That's so wild, man. This is a 21 damage Time Twister. Die. What? 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 Are we be serious? This match is not serious. Valky's been just legitimately good at multiple points. Like the Valky has been good. I was a little, I don't know, maybe it's gonna be okay. It was good. What, like multiple times? What am I doing? We're playing the mirror. Esper Lurrus. How do we board for this? Anyone remember? No, I don't. Jace is a bad card. Valky is the good cards. I forget what we did. There were cards. We ordered them in. Which round did we do this? Which round was it was round 2, right? 2? I boarded out High Noon. I might keep in High Noon. Nah, I don't know. I boarded out High Noon and I boarded in... Oh, I boarded out Negation, High Noon, and I boarded in Swords, Needle. High Noon, Negation, Swords, needle. That makes sense to me. That vibes. Okay, I'm down. Boots is just like a way to speed up a construct clock and close a game. It hasn't been amazing, but it hasn't been, you know, it hasn't done zero. It just hasn't done a lot. Seems fine. I mean, I feel like my deck respects mana. Like it's like one Valk for like 2 spells, and I have like 10 ways to fetch it. I think we're okay. Let's probe first in case I draw Saga. Maybe. Time Walk, Tundra, Grafdigger's Cage, Seal of Cleansing, Lavinia. Okay. Well, I can't force Lavinia anyways, so I have to just cycle anyways. All right. My opponent's going to play turn 2 Lavinia. Oh, I should play a lot faster. You are correct. I should play faster. Is this a red mana? I don't think so. Pretty sure. Maybe it is a red mana. No, it's got to be a double Tundra. I'm just going to Swords this on with Flusterstorm back up on my turn here. Oh, we're going all in, huh? Bold. All right, their hand is 2 unknowns, Grafdigger's Cage, Seal of Cleansing. Drew a Jet, buy Lurrus, or play Seal. Buy Lurrus. Okay. Oh, they drew Wasteland off the top. Wow. They drew Jet and Wasteland? Okay. Oh, no Wasteland. I think no Wasteland's probably correct. Buy my own Lurrus here, maybe? No, we're short on Cruise. But like, I don't want to play any of these 1-drops and have them be sealed, right? So... Oh, I guess Seal is Destroy, so maybe we should have played the 1-drops and hope they sealed them. Also, we can't Seal of Cleansing this Cage to get Breach through. Oh, now they know my whole hand, chat. For free! For free! For free. They don't have a way to stop me from playing a Lurrus, though. But I don't have a way to stop them from playing a Lurrus. But neither of us have, like, good Lurrus cards at the moment. It's kind of weird. Oh, I guess they can stop me from playing a Lurrus by Wastelanding me. But does that mean I cruise? Oh, they double Wastelanded me? This is illegal, man. Wasteland is the most broken Magic card of all time. Black Lotus win the game, maybe? Wasteland is so broken. I don't have any more Tundras in my deck. Oh, I drew a Saga. Nice Wasteland, idiot. Sick Wasteland. Good use of Wasteland. Got him. Put the key and the boots in the yard, maybe. Oh, just the key. Are they gonna play a Cage now? Cage and Seal. If they play a Cage... Oh, fuck. You're right. It's a Seal of Cleansing. All right, I needed to kill Lurrus this turn. Never mind. I'm playing a little fast, Jack, because I don't have a lot of time to finish 2 matches here. Black Lotus wins the game. Dress down. I can hit their white mana with a Wasteland here. Maybe that's fine. EFT dress down is okay as well. I don't really mind that either. I'm just like not sure how much it does. Oh, they just drew a Caracas off the top. What is happening? I don't know how we win now. This looks bad for me. Ancestral Recall. I feel like that's part of it. They drew Mental Misstep. This is the come on. And then they drew Saga. Maybe I would have been better off with the dress down line. They just have so many things that stop me from winning, right? I need to draw an answer for Saga here. Pretty sure we're dead. I do feel like I got savagely outdrawn, but... I can't seal both things. I'm at 6 life. Maybe they'll hit my dress down for some reason. I don't know. I don't think I have any way to win. Yeah, there's nothing here. I can't even needle this Saga. I'm just like too many attacks to. Yeah, I can't even play my Lurrus because they drew a Caracas. Yeah, I mean, I definitely should have gone with the dress down line instead. I don't feel like it would have made a very big difference, but I feel like my opponent top decked the exact cards they needed every turn in this game. I could have played better though. Tried to play a little fast because of game 3. I really shouldn't have like taken 2 minutes to like let my opponent get out of chat in the beginning of the game here. I mean, if I time out, it's because I took 2 minutes to let my opponent get out of chat. Like, they just drew a Treasure Cruise off the top. It's okay. Like, they needed to take some luck back here. Why does it keep giving me priority when I have F6 on? I have F6 on. Why does it keep giving me priority? I don't understand. I don't get it. Why does it keep giving me priority back? This game went really badly for me. Like, the Wasteland line made sense, and then they just top decked white source. Like, I was gonna stop them from being able to play the white cards, and Whatever. It's fine. Game 3. Still have to play this game really fast, though. With moto lag. And my deck doesn't have any win conditions. I don't know. It's looking a little sus. I mean, this hand's sick, though. Make him have it. Which card am I pitching? I feel like I'm pitching the mental misstep. Black Lotus. Ah, I pitched the wrong card, chat. I pitched the wrong card. Of course, they would have Black Lotus Ancestral. That's so silly, man. I felt like I wanted to play around Wasteland, and Ancestral is the best way to play around Wasteland. My opponent just drew all the best cards at the same hand. You can't be serious. Oh. Never mind. Oh my god. I can't complain. Complaining makes you win the game, by the way. Just saying. Everyone should take a lesson here and complain as much as possible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 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 I'm sorry. 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 It's okay. We took turns throwing the ball back and forth for what it's worth. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Oh my god. Welcome, vintage gamers, to the top 8. It turns out when you put good cards in your deck instead of bad cards, you can draw them and win matches. Crazy. Opponent in the top 8 is double queuing, so this might be a little bit slow. We'll see what happens. I have revealed a cat. They have not revealed a cat, which makes me believe they are on Initiative or Lurrus. Ah, they have exiled 7 cards to Serum Powder. I was told, I believe I was told that Bazaar is not playable. Yeah, here we are in the top 8. Just another Bazaar player. Well, the good news is, because they exiled on 7 and then kept a 7-card hand, we can now mulligan to a Wasteland for Dredge. Because my opponent is on Dredge. So this hand I would normally keep against, like, Jewel. They were on Jewel. This hand's pretty good. But I'm going to mulligan this. Look for a Wasteland hand. That is not a Wasteland hand. I guess I'm going to mulligan again. I'm going to mulligan again for a Wasteland hand. This is a Wasteland hand. Interesting. All right, so this is a keep. I'm keeping Wasteland. Seal of Cleansing is a little interesting because it answers a hollow one. Probably Breach is too early for Breach, though I'm like 1 Brain Freeze away from winning, but they could also have like Griefs and stuff here, so it's like pretty unlikely. I don't really feel like we're going to have any Flusterstorms in this game. Probably just want to keep Lorien revealed and maybe go for a draw 3. Let's try this. All right, so my opponent is double queued again, so it's going to be a little slower between actions. The good news is they're Dredge, so they don't really have any actions. We could Fluster a Noxious. This is true, but we'd have to use Lotus to do it. Don't know. Don't know if that's worth it. It's not unreasonable, though. I don't know. I kind of felt like this covers us in the best set of ways, but I could be convinced. You would have kept Breach to try to scam a Brain Freeze win. Looks like they did have the Grief, 1 Dredger. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I had to mulligan twice, right? So they have a hollow one. They have 2 hollow ones. I can kill one hollow one. So I can Wasteland, and then this Mox can go get a Tundra, and they have one Dredger in the yard and two hollow ones. Oh, they have the Noxious Revival as their last card. Sick. Well, the game ends. Unlucky. Pretty unlucky. I don't know. It's really hard to beat a 7-card Dredge hand ever, so just a Dredge 7. 8 free power, Bazaar of Baghdad, Dredger, and Noxious Revival to beat Wasteland. So I think I'm supposed to get a Volcanic and top deck a... No, I mean, a Breach doesn't even get me there anymore, right? I don't think anything gets me there. I'm just taking too much damage here. I'm taking 11. And then if they hit... I'm taking 11. I'm taking 12 to 8. And then I'm dead. I'm just dead on board, actually. Even with Seal of Cleansing on a hollow one, I'm still dead on board on turn 3. So the only way to win this game is to top deck Ancestral into like a Time Walk Vault Key line. Something like that is probably the only way to win. Nope. Okay. All right. Well, that's Dredge. Also, we have no ley lines in our sideboard, so remember, this deck is bad right now. That's what people will tell you. We do have some Jailers, though, so thank you to Not Me for putting us some good cards in our sideboard here. We have Jailers, Containment Priests, Tabernacles, Needles, and Cages. So a nice 7-card sideboard. Maybe even more, depending on if we want to bring in Swords or not. High Noon is bad. Bulky is bad. Snap is bad. Island might be bad. I guess they can still be on Wastelands, but Dress Down is bad. Island is pretty bad. I guess Swords are better for Hollow One. We do need to technically to answer Hollow One. Mental Misstep is good because we have Wastelands. Boots are probably bad. There's like 10 cards in our deck are bad, so I mean Spell Pierce is not exactly very good either. Yeah. I mean, Force isn't even that good in this matchup. Like, you don't really want Force anyways. Sure, I'm okay with keeping Island over the 4th Plow. That's fine. I don't mind that. I don't think it's a big deal either way, but like, you don't really need Force as much in this matchup. It isn't usually very good. But our blue count did go lower. It's 9, 11, 15, 18. It's still 18. It's still more than Jewel. Crazy. But yeah, it's definitely less likely to have Force blue card here than we were before. I mean, this might be a quick top 8, actually. We just get murdered by Dredge twice. So what we're looking for, I guess we do want to have Force so that we can play a turn 1 Containment Priest or Jailer, huh? Misstep is still good because one of the primary ways you win the game is Wastelanding their Bazaar, and their primary way of fighting Wasteland their Bazaar is Noxious Revival. So you keep Misstep in just for Noxious Revival. It's that important. Yeah, I mean, we're looking for a hand that has Mox plus one of our 2-drops, or Needle, or Cage, one of those kind of cards. I wonder if you could, like, theoretically say Negation is worth playing, so that you can have Negation and play on the play, maybe you could play Negation so you can play a Jailer on their upkeep. I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, if they just keep 7-card hands, it's very hard to beat them no matter what. If we drew the Underground Sea so that we can't play the Containment Priest, but we have an Ancestral and we have a Tabernacle to buy time. That's probably a keep, but I'm not like super happy about it. Obviously, if we just had a better land here, but Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's my. I am of agreement. The sand is just to keep, and it is what it is. We don't have a wasteland in the sand, but maybe the ancestral gets us there. They serum powdered twice on 7, and then mulligan to 6, and then mulligan to 5. And looks like we're keeping on 5. We're keeping on 5. Okay. Underground Sea, Moxen, pass, play around negation, upkeep, ancestral, target myself. They have mental misstep, of course. Those are 6 down to 3. 2 dredgers and an Icarid. Can I get a white land? Yes. That's really good. Definitely gonna let them. Oh, I don't know why I did this. I should not have cracked this fetch land. I should have let. I want to let them. If they pass the priority back to me, or maybe I should just do it on my turn so they can't do anything in response. I don't know. There's like a lot of ways you can play this out. Like you could try to wait and see if they pass priority back to you for the Icarid and wait until they activate. I'll try doing that. I don't know if that's right. I mean, I'm kind of signaling because I accidentally fetched this Tundra on my turn for no reason, but. All right, I got an activate in response here, so there's no reason not to wait until they do dredging, except for creeping chill, but that's okay if we get creeping chilled here. Kind of want them to discard cards from their hand. All right, that should be a win, I hope. We'll see. Too many swords. I guess the answer here is by Lurrus. And then maybe at some point we brain freeze ourselves. They're just top deck drawing here, looking for a Sickening Shoal. That's the rest of this game. The rest of this game depends on if they find black card, Sickening Shoal. They can always find black card because they can dredge. So it's just, do they draw a Sickening Shoal? They've already exiled 1 Sickening Shoal. So I think the Decklists usually play 2 Sickening Shoals. Wait, why are we activating in response? We're just naturally drawing 2 in the upkeep. Oh, in case they draw Sickening Shoal now, that's so they can bring back Icarid. Okay. I mean, this Tabernacle is not going to buy us time because they have so many Icarids in the top half of their deck. Discard Icarid, Icarid Force. So they have all 4 Icarids. So if they did find a Sickening Shoal there, things would be really hard. They dredge, though. So does that mean they have Sickening Shoal? Why would you dredge unless you had Sickening Shoal? Okay, you do have Sickening Shoal. And you have Second Bazaar. Oh, cool. We lost. Sick mulligan. Maybe we can brain freeze them out of this game. We're gonna die on board, though. We're dead on board to 4 Icarids, I guess. We can draw Black Lotus, and then we can go Lurrus Lotus Containment Priest. We can draw a Wasteland, which is too late. So I have to Tabernacle their board and play a Lurrus to block, and then hopefully we can brain freeze them next turn. I think that's the plan. I'm at 13. They go through their whole deck. They have 2 Creeping Chills left. They hit me with 12 power. I take 6 damage. They kill me. They kill me with 2 Chickening Shoals, right? I'm actually dead to that. Well, Lurrus block gains me an additional 3 life, but maybe if they go through their whole deck, I can brain freeze them out here with 1 spell, 6 cards. Oh, wait, they only have 1 Creeping Chill, so this is deterministic then, right? So I can go Tabernacle, wipe their board, Lurrus block, 12 power in play. I take 6. No, I think we're fine because I have 4. I mean, I can't even die because I have. Oh no, I can die. 1 creeping chill. No, but if Lurrus blocks, it's fine, right? Because I prevent 3 damage and gain 3 life, so I take 9. I take exactly 12. So I think we're good here. This is fine. So Tabernacle, Black Lotus, not Black Lotus, Tabernacle, Lurrus, block, and then on the next turn we go Brain Freeze, Swords. Oh, I guess there'll be no creatures in play to Swords, so I'm not sure it will be enough. Oh, they could also just like not activate any of these Icarids, right? I guess they have to activate the. I mean, they could just not activate the Rizar though. So playing the Lurrus is worse then, because I have to block here, and now I can't rebuy my Containment Priest. Oh, but the Amalgams have to come back in, right? I think the Amalgams have to come back in, but that's still not enough to mill them out, though. It's still not enough to mill them out. Unless we draw another... Oh, they dredged. They dredged. The game is over. They dredged. They dredged for turn here. So now we just Brain Freeze them out of this game. Oh, wait, they didn't bring anything back because they exiled the Amalgams to the Icarids. That's super smart of them. So we lose? Or no, we can... we can't Swords anything. So do we lose then? Because they just bring back all these Icarids and we die, right? Oh no, I can Swords them in the upkeep because the Icarids have to come back. So we're fine. We're fine. Because they have to bring back the Icarids, so they have to have a Swords target, and then we win. Cool. Woof. I got scared for a second there. Crazy game. What if they have Noxious Revival as their last card? I have Mental Misstep. Wow, that was crazy. What a wild game. I've never had a game that was like this. That's wild. No, I don't need to build Storm. They have exactly 6 cards in hand. I have 6 Brain Freeze. I need to have this in case they have a 4th Noxious Revival, which they can't. They can't have a Noxious Revival, but that was not that was a very unique game of Dredge. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a game of Dredge that was like that. Like it was too wow. Could they have not dredged there? I think so. I think my opponent did not have to dredge. They could have naturally drawn, in which case they would still be able to kill me with Icarids. So I think my opponent should have won that game. I'm actually a little worried about my Lurrus line. Like maybe my Lurrus line was worse than Swordsing, but maybe not. Yeah, I don't think my opponent had to dredge anymore, so I believe the dredge cost them the game in a game they didn't have to lose. Weird game. Super weird game. Maybe I should not have bottomed the Breach in this game, but that, yeah. Why did I block with Lurrus? Because if I don't block with Lurrus, they have a Creeping Chill in their deck and I will die. Lurrus was enough to gain life, so I could never die to Creeping Chill. I mean, my opponent can pick exactly enough cards to dredge with. Maybe I did make a mistake though, and maybe I was supposed to keep the Breach. It just felt like it was too hard to keep the Breach. I can Swords on the next turn. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. There's a lot of moving pieces there. Yep, that's a keep. Hopefully I don't play too many hollow ones here. They kept 7. Grave Troll in yard. Any hollow ones? Grief. I have to force Grief, right? I think it's better to keep a cruise than a Flusterstorm. Maybe not. Maybe I just want to hope it works, and then at some point I can hold open Flusterstorm on my Containment Priest. It's probably better. They have a hollow one. They have 2 hollow ones. Sick. Disgusting. I think we're gonna lose this game anyways. It's just, you can't beat a 7-card Dredge hand. You just can't beat a 7-card Dredge hand. It's just actually impossible. Crazy, man. Crazy. Bizarre is unplayable, by the way. I feel like I'm not supposed to play this Containment Priest out and maybe keep this Lotus for something better. Like, they haven't used anything yet. I'm at 1. Maybe I should have kept my Treasure Cruise. Jet. Can I play Lurrus yet? Can't play Lurrus yet. They hit a creeping chill. Come on, man. Like, be serious. They dredged for 3. It's just impossible. It's just impossible. It's a Dredge 7. Oh, now I have to chump with the stupid Containment Priest. I have to chump with the Containment Priest and draw Tabernacle or Demonic. I mean, 7-card Dredge hand. What am I gonna do? I mean, I can stop. I can draw Tabernacle or Demonic and kill these, and then they have to miss on Dredgers for a little while before I finally find a Jailer, right? Like, I have outs to win this exact game. I didn't hit them. I guess it wouldn't have mattered if I had Treasure Cruise or not, because I wouldn't have ever been able to cast it. So, yeah, I mean, our deck doesn't have Leyline of the Void, so it's, like, pretty hard for us to beat Dredge sometimes. And a lot of beating Dredges, do they mulligan? So, yeah. I mean, these 7-card Dredge hands were crazy. Both 7-card Dredge hands were Bizarre, Double Hollow One, Grief, and Noxious Revival. Like, both of their 7-card hands were like legit perfects, right? So it happens. Needle is too late. Saga is too late. Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. Dredge is very strong. Rough way to go, but a good top 8 nonetheless. We're dead in the top 8 here. Not a bad showing. This was a Lurrus Saga deck. So this was a Lurrus Saga control deck with Wastelands. I opted to, instead of playing Bowmaster, play some different Magic cards. And I would have to say, I'm not sure they're better than playing Bowmaster here, but they were obviously good in multiple instances. The Valky had a good day. The Valky was absolutely good multiple times. The boots were, I think the boots were probably the worst of the cards we tried. I think the boots make sense in like an aggro shop stack, but I'm not sure that they make sense here. Breach is always good. Breach and Brain Freeze actually been good because there's actually a couple decks now that lose to Brain Freeze. Doomsday and Jewel both are kind of weak to Brain Freeze. So there's actually a kind of a low cost now. Normally the cost to playing Breach is like you have to put these bad Brain Freezes in your deck, but there's actually some good matchups for Brain Freeze right now. So I like the Breach, I like the Brain Freeze, I like the Valky. I don't really think I like the boots today. And the High Noon was great. The High Noon was absolutely the all-star edition of the deck today. I thought the High Noon was quite strong. It did exactly what I was looking for it to do. Locked up multiple games. We didn't get to end up to doming anyone in the face, but we were very close to doming some people in the face as well. So I like this version of Lurrus Saga much better than playing Blue-Black. I think playing Blue-Black is wrong. I think you lose too much. I think you lose too much versatility when you choose to only play Blue-Black. And if you're like, the reasoning you give is like Bowmasters, you can still play the Esper version with Bowmasters. Like that's the thing you can still do. I'm not saying you have to play red for, you know, that's clearly not the case. I would say the Lava Spore Boot should get cut and a Soul Guide Lantern needs to be added to this deck for the mirror. I definitely want a Soul Guide Lantern in my deck. It's possible you even play the Soul Guide Lantern in the main. Like you could do that. I typically like playing a Needle in the main more than a Soul Guide Lantern in the main. But I mean, I think not playing white is just silly. Oh, I also think the Stony Silence is probably supposed to be a Null Rod. There are obviously more outs to Null Rod, but just like having the ability to cast a Null Rod is more important than anything else here. So that would be the change that I would make. I'm not sure if I would put the Lantern main or if I would put something else in the main. Maybe another blue card, maybe something like that. But this is how I would change the deck too. I think blue-white Lurrus is quite bad. I think part of the reason that Lurrus is good is because of Vampiric and Demonic Tutor for Time Vault Key. I would not recommend blue-white Lurrus. And if you are to play blue-white Lurrus, I would definitely still recommend Full Moxen plus Time Vault and those kind of things. I think it's just silly. I think you should always be splashing Vampiric Demonic. It's just too broken not to do that. Yeah, I mean, the sideboard right now is Containment Priest, Swords to Plowshares, a Null Rod, Trap, Hercules, Sabotage, Jailer, Needle, Cage, and Tabernacle. And I would like to have a Soul Guide Lantern somewhere in the 75. Yeah. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. More Outlaws of Thunder Junction content coming to this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will see you then.